We're live.
Oh! Did not get a countdown. The scene behind the scenes. No. Anyway, chaos. Let chaos reign. Anyway, hello, and welcome to another evening of Dungeons and Dragons with us, Dice and Mimics. I am your DM, Paddy, and joining me as usual, we have Annette as Talia Darkfawn.
Hello, darling.
We have Ben as both Valdizian and Dirt.
Evening.
We have Steph as Vienna.
Hello.
We have Reese as Blossom.
Hello.
And we have Aaron as Zandal.
Hello.
So, anyone got any announcements or anything they want to say or shout outs before I get into the recap? Yes,
Me,
yes,
me,
you
me,
there,
me,
you there, boy, you there.
We have two announcements.
Speak up, stand up.
Choose me. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that I have unmuted everything. Yeah, perfect. So we have two announcements. Our first of which is our standard announcement. We just want to thank all of the companies and all of the technologies we use to put on our show, which is everything from Sirenscape, who do all of our ambience and our music. We use Roll20 for our maps and all of our character tokens and bits and bobs. And we also use DnD Beyond for our character sheets that allow us to basically click a button and do all of our spells and stuff without really having to think about things. If it wasn't for them, it would make things a lot slower and a lot more clunkier. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Great stuff. And our second one is out to all of our new Threads people. So a few sessions ago, we mentioned that we were going away from the Evil Bird app. The Evil Bird app can go and die in fire, and we have moved over to Threads. And since then, we've actually gained more of an audience and more of an interest in all of our content, more so than we did ever on the Bird app. So if you're coming to us from from Threads, welcome. Love you, the fact that you're being here, and love the fact that you followed us. Really appreciate it. Actually, no, there is a third one as well. We do have a Patreon now. If you go to patreon.com/Dice and Mimics, you can support us for just £1. It is a golden mimic coin, which is a reference to something that Paddy kind of inflicted on me at one point.
That was a great.
That was Halloween trick or treat.
Yes. So you can support us from just £1 at patreon.com/Dice and Mimics. We will be adding more tiers at some point. We just want to know what you want from the extra tiers and what we can do to try and make things interesting from you, whether it be kind of a wanted poster within the overlays for our D&D session, or extra kind of Discord things, or whatever. So we started off with a £1 tier. If you want more, let us know, and we'll add more things. So that's pretty much it. And I can take my glasses off now, so I can see less things.
Okay. Anything from anyone else?
Nope,
No,
I can't think of anything.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Okay. So, to pick up where we left off last time, Armatae are in the city of Reforp, the divine city of Reforp, a city that is of constant sunlight and pretty much devoted to the worship of Pelor, along with some less than salubrious policies abound within the city, including slavery. The party had split, with Vienna taking Ert, disguised as another drow, and making her way into the slave market run by her cousin, Sargast, as the Naveen Netters. There she began to sow distrust and misconduct amongst the ranks of the drow, eventually ending with Sargast fleeing with ill-gotten gains and being chased down. And Vienna then took it upon herself to try and make it so that the Naveen Netters would relocate to greener pastures, better business opportunities. And to do so, she made a deal with the priestess of Lolth there. That deal included having to visit the Temple of Soon, the Pleasure Palace, or the Passion Palace, I believe it was actually, and find a willing consort for the priestess, which resulted in a lot of keeping eyes on eyes and not letting them drift too far. In the meantime, the rest of the party decided to do a bit of investigating and started looking around the warehouse district to see what they could find out about this mysterious warehouse where lots of goods and resources are coming from that seem to be empowering the Pelorian Church's economic stranglehold of the city. They then managed to make contact with a single member of the underground who operates within the city. Actually, the owner of the inn they were staying at in the lower city, and organized with them for a distraction. Once there, that distraction was put into motion, and they made their way into the warehouse. Once within, they began a investigation. Unfortunately, though, that investigation was interrupted by the activation of 3 stone golems in the shape of weeping angels, who then began to beat down the ill-equipped and ill-prepared party, but through some clever manipulation of the location and quick usage of spells and abilities, they were able to defeat 2 of the golems, disable a 3rd, and basically do a smash and grab for documents. Those documents then revealed that all of this wondrous resources and goods were coming from one particular source, Albrecht Worthington. And Blossom, through their use of psychometry, I believe it is, after touching a missive, saw a scene where Albrecht gave an instruction to a Slard creature, one that the party have not seen before, where it then cut a path into Limbo, went through and began passing through these goods after creating them from the formless chaos of Limbo. And that is where we left off last time, I believe. So, who would like to go first out of the split party? Should we
I vote
start
Fiona.
with...
Yeah, we left off
Oh,
with
that
the
was
main
very much
party,
a back
so
on it.
Yeah, because you did kind of leave me sitting there going the whole last
give
session.
us some screen.
Yeah.
what did I do?
Like,
What
oh,
have you
no.
left with me?
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I am still waiting for the netters to return.
Yes. So you are sat. I believe you had just been having a long rest with last I checked.
Yeah, I ordered some privacy. So,
Yeah, you've gone to
get
one of the
them-
little
Yeah.
like changing cubicles.
Mm. And I'm kind of like, obviously I only have like a 4-hour rest period, but I'd be standing guard over it, really.
Yeah. Probably just around about the time where this rest period is beginning to come to an end. You do hear a bit of a commotion out in the main sort of communal area.
Mhm.
And you hear eventually a genteel knock at the door to this little cubicle, this little almost like pull, almost think like a caravan where it's got like those pull round bits to
Yeah.
separate it. Yeah, like that, like a screen.
I'll sort of like come out, but not let anything be seen, and just kind of like shuffle out.
Standing there is a male drow, one of the ones you know is probably just one of the, like, they've been brought along to be effectively household staff, cooking, cleaning, that sort of thing. And he goes,
Yeah.
Mistress Hylim, the netters have returned. And he moves to one side, and you see stood there the now only 4 netters. There is only 4 of them when 5 left. And they are stood there with a sack that is stained, dripping, and also a satchel that is stained with streaks of brown, but is obviously the satchel Sargast left with.
Right. I'll approach. I'm assuming. Again, I've got my notes here. Why don't I use them? That would help. I can never pronounce it right. Natar?
Natar.
Natar. I'm guessing Natar's there.
Yes, Natar is there. You can see she has a new scar, and it goes right through her eye, but it has obviously been healed either with a potion or with a healing spell.
Yeah. She'll walk up to Natar and say, I take it you have some issues.
Issues. A couple of bandits. You know, the usual. Unfortunately, we did lose a member of our party, and Sargast was uncooperative in wanting to return to face justice, so we had to remove him. And here she picks up the sack and opens it, and looking out is Sargast's decapitated head.
Well, looks like we've got a display piece.
Indeed, I believe the your mother would probably quite appreciate the trophy.
Yes, she would. And with that, Vienna kind of looks at it and goes, that should be returned to Naveen.
I can organise for a runner. I hear from a few people that you have been speaking with the priestess about a new business opportunity.
I was hoping to have a good talk with you about that.
By all means, please. And she gestures to one of the tables, and she sort of snaps a finger, and like a bunch of the male drow just like quickly run around, and suddenly you've got wine in front of you, 2 goblets, and a small platter of like what look like sort of like they look like gyoza, but you know that these are like a drow delicacy. They're made out of a mushroom that can be milled into flour and then turned into this dough, and
Yeah.
inside of each of them will be a very small bit of like leech meat. It's just like a common drow.
Yum
It's
yum.
not it's not anything high class, but
No, no.
you can see they've been prepared well, and it's
Yeah.
basically what they've managed to get hold of here that would be a taste of home.
So, with that, we kind of sit down and say to her, you've done us proud. I've reported back to my mother, and you've actually served us incredibly well. So, I, first of all, would like you to take the lead of the people here.
I would be honoured. Thank you very much, Lady Highland.
However, this city is not going to be. Let's just say your finances have come to a peak here. It's difficult to explain. I feel like the priestess knows something, but rightfully she keeps her tongue sealed. But there's
Last I checked, her tongue is rather busy because of something you brought, but very well.
still stops
Giggity.
her from talking, though. So there's something going around the people here, and it will stop slavery being viable. So I'm suggesting not only a way out, but a better means of some money making. So have you heard of a city called Minas Bengoli?
I've heard of it. I believe we passed it on the way. Didn't really stop. It looked rather snobbish.
It's not
To say the
anymore.
Oh, do tell.
Well, as I told the priestess, I may or may not have been involved in something that may have collapsed the towers, and the city is partially ruined, let's say.
I'm not a stranger to ruins and ruin diving, I suppose.
So you get where I'm coming from.
I could see where there would be profit in it, but to leave a established business with a proven bottom line to such a risky venture, it will be tricky to persuade everyone that this is the best foot forward.
All right. I'm thinking about how much to tell her about the Slardy.
That's entirely up to you.
I'll test it. I'll say, how much do you know about Limbo and Slardy?
I need you to make a wisdom
Oh, you
saving
say
throw.
that now they know you're
please.
there.
Do they?
What are you
Or
doing?
was it
Yeah.
just you?
Yes, we'd established that they send people at you if you say that.
Did we?
I think if
No.
you pass the safe, you're
No.
alright, isn't it? It's just they know where you are if you don't.
You don't know what's going on with that.
Do we not?
Actually,
Oh.
you haven't
No.
actually figured anything out.
Oh.
You may have
So-
your own suspicions.
What am I rolling again?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. 21?
That is a save, so you're only going to take half damage.
Oh no.
So you take 5 psychic damage
Oof.
as
Okay.
you feel as you say the word Slard, you feel like this, like everything sort of presses in on you for a moment, and there's just this buzzing in your ears, and then you just feel like a slight headache form, but you shrug it off and sort of
Mhm.
it seems to pass. Natar goes, nothing in particular. Why?
I'm not going to say their name again because for some reason that hurt. They have.
Oh.
It's a creature that has a hold over this city, I think. But it's what actually brought me here, and in the process, I learnt about my cousin. So
I mean,
it's a creature
these
it's a creature that infects. So anyone that turns up with a cut mysteriously will eventually turn into one of these creatures. And I believe this city is infected.
But if they need hosts, why would that necessarily invalidate our business? Surely they will just be new clients.
And when you run out of clients,
We can fight well enough. And there's plenty of people out in the countryside. Also, if we're no longer limited to just, as those above say, demi-humans, there's many villages ripe for the picking.
I see your argument.
The only question is, do these creatures understand commerce?
I do not have much dealings with talking with them, only... I'm trying to remember if I've actually fought one or not. I don't think I did.
You have. You fought one in the Trifarian camp, but you didn't really get a chance to talk to that one. You
No.
guys basically hold creatured it and destroyed it pretty quickly.
From what I know of them, they're not the talkative type.
I suppose it's unknown risk versus unknown risk then.
Pretty much. I mean, you're welcome to take Sargast's earnings if that helps you on your way.
That would be a good beginning nest egg, I suppose. I already know that the priestess will back your decision. And that immediately puts me on a back foot for any argument. I suppose a change of pace might be in order. What else can you tell me about this Minas Pingoli? What can I expect to find hidden in its streets and in its depths.
Funny you should mention about the depths. When I was last there was an underground section.
Oh,
Some sort of... I need reminding what it actually was. Was it
it
lab?
was. Yeah, you would say like a laboratory complex.
Yeah, a laboratory complex.
Technology like that could go for a pretty penny, or if reverse engineered, could be useful for Naveen, I suppose.
Also, I believe it could be closer.
How do you mean?
An underground setup. You might be an easier way to get to Naveen.
True, tunneling could be a possibility. We'd have to get hold of some Duragar slaves, perhaps, or some dwarves. Not particularly keen on digging myself, but I could see the potential in it.
You're welcome to have a think.
Hmm.
I know it's quite a bold idea, but
Give me a couple of hours. I will gather the rest and hear their thoughts on it before I make a full decision.
I understand.
And thank you for your time, Lady Hylim.
She kind of bows her head and finishes drink.
Okay. And as you start walking away, you can see Natar talking to a couple of the other drow around her, and you see a couple of the males scuttle off, obviously going to collect the rest of the drow from the complex to bring them in for a meeting. What else would you like to do in the meantime?
Do a quick checkup on her.
You sort of glance into the compartment, and Ert has, by this point, awoken and has quickly reapplied her disguise and ritual cast tongues again, so that she is back in her persona.
If she ritual cast it, does that mean no spell slots lost?
No spell slot lost. No.
Cool.
Just means that it takes 10 minutes rather than instant.
Cool. And I keep my fingers crossed that this works and I can finally go back to the rest of my team.
So as you sit on the outside and you watch this meeting happen, you see that a number of... They sort of are keeping their voices down, not wanting to be overheard. That you can see people sort of raising points and objections, various bits and pieces, but eventually they seem to come to a consensus. And you watch as the males begin rushing around and begin packing. They begin putting together wine skins and like satchels of food.
I feel like what I've done is created a bigger problem in the future, but...
It's at this point, though, Natar approaches you and goes, well, we've reached a consensus, and the rest have decided that they're fed up of being second-class citizens here, in a way.
I didn't
we're
welcome
going-
it when I arrived here either.
So we're going to take our chances and make our way towards Minas Pengoli and see what we can find. If that fails, then we will return to Naveen and await further orders, we believe. There is a small issue.
Alright.
The current stock. What should we do
Right.
with them? Obviously, we can't just let them go.
I would like
we-
to take them.
You would take them, Lady
I would.
Helen?
Or at least one of them.
Hmm.
Which one's the most difficult for you?
They sort of lean back and have a think as he sort of rests on the heels of her feet and goes, probably that red dragonborn. He's been a bit of a pain. However, like I say, we would value your input. Do we put off our leaving long enough to hold one last sale and get a bit of extra coin before we leave? Or do we dispose of them as humanely as possible, obviously.
The problem
Or
is, I do not know if any of them are infected.
that is a good point. We don't want to sell defective product.
Yes.
Do you have anyone you know who could identify such things, Lady Hylim?
I may have a friend or two in
Hmm.
the area who might be able to take them.
Very well.
How much do you usually charge for them?
Oh, normally it's a bidding war, depending on what people want and the quality of the actual product. But I will say, as a decent nest egg to get us on our way, if you want to take them all off our hands and distribute and deal with them yourself, Lady Hylim, I could let you take them all for 500 gold. Obviously, we'd normally expect a lot more, but in this case, it's a clearance sale.
With that, Fiona takes out 500 gold.
Oh, she she obviously was not expecting that immediate response, and she just takes the gold. Like, you see her sort of weigh the bag, and she goes, "I'll not be so crass as to count it," and she just reaches behind her and literally just drops the bag, and a male giant is like, "Oh!" catches it.
With that, she'll probably mention, I had some winnings.
Ah, well, fortune to you then from Lolf. All right, well, and here she reaches to a belt, pulls off a key, like loop of keys, and just chucks them at you and goes, "All yours, Lady Hylim. We will feel free to go to their stalls, and once you have left the living areas, we will be locking the doors behind you and clearing out. But take them where you will."
Thank you. And with that, she also turns around and says, I take it there are cloaks for them.
Uh,
All the slaves here wear
not
cloaks.
not particularly. Buyers normally bring their own garments for them, but you might be able to scrounge a few things together from what we have left.
I was going to say, because I've heard you recapture them at times. Sometimes they came with their own cloaks.
Yes, but normally the first thing an escaped slave does is
Get rid
ditch
of them.
those things so that they don't look like a slave.
That's true. I'll
Makes
see if I
sense.
can get some off somebody.
Well, I wish you luck in your endeavours, Lady Hylim, and
And you, I'll report to my mother what's going on.
indeed, and I shall report to both my mother and your mother on the progress of our trip to Minas Pengoli.
With that, Vienna kind of sits down, gets a parchment and paper out, and the scrying gem,
Yep.
and kind of lets her know what the netters are doing, what they've talked about, where they're going, and the fact that Vienna's agreed for them to just keep the money to start off with while it's set up.
Yep. Okay. You write all that down, and a couple of minutes later, that familiar to you now fountain of spiders appears out of the table in front of you, and a scroll is left behind.
Look at the scroll.
As you open it, it is a mother, and it dictates that they are pleased with the progress of the netters. They look forward to hearing about this potential new technology or treasure that could be gained from this ruined elven city, and they will begin investigating on their end the potential of both settlement and linkage between the two cities.
Good.
There is a small note at the bottom specifically from your mother to you that does state, "Impressive. At least you're finally taking your role seriously."
Just ignore the pink hair.
She can't.
No,
She
no,
can't see
She
you.
can't see it, so that's fine. And with that, she kind of writes a little note on the bottom going, you know, I wouldn't abandon you. I know what my role is up here on the surface world, even if I get distracted from time to time.
You then, as you've sent that, you get a sending spell linked to you, and you hear your mother's voice, and he goes, "Oh, you're young yet. You'll soon learn to fall in line. Otherwise, there's always the Driders." And that's where the sending ends.
Well, I've got Winter Fae, so I obviously don't say that.
Tell her you're a traitor to law.
Screw you.
Love that.
So no.
Yep. But yes, as you and Ert are escorted out of the living areas and back to that central corridor that you know, one door leads to the slave pens, the other leads to the auction room. As the door is closed behind you, you do hear the lock click and bolts slide into place, and you are left in what is now soon to be an abandoned market.
So I'll make my way down. In fact, I need to kind of
before
find the code
actually,
first.
just as you're about to go there, you do hear the bolt slide back and the lock click open again, and that young lady you'd picked up from the Passion Palace stumbles out, dishevelled, her clothing ripped, and her skin marred, but she has this biggest shit-eating grin on her face as she just sort of stands there, weak-kneed, as the door closes behind her.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just kind of going to look and go, okay. Head towards. So they're obviously not going to just abandon all and lock everything until I've got my slaves, have they?
So what they've done is they've so the auction room and the slave pen had nothing in it that they're going to take with them.
Right.
Everything they're taking with them.
Stay open. Yeah.
Yeah, everything they're taking with them was from their living area, which is the temple, that sort of office space that you first met Sargast in, and that communal living area.
Right.
So they've locked you out of there, and they've locked that door, but everything else is just going to be left and abandoned because they can't take it with them. There's no point.
Well, that's what I thought about the slaves. They probably don't want to take them with them because it's just more cumbersome for them. But
yeah, and that's why they were like, do we stay a couple of days longer and hold an auction to sell them off, or do we just
top them? Yeah.
Top them and leave it.
Vienna's going to go and get some, see if she can find some slave garments. She's basically going to disguise them as slaves.
Okay. So are you looking here in the market, or are you going further afield?
I think from what the drow said, I'm going to have to look further afield.
Okay. So as you leave the market, you do see there's no one around the entrance to the market as usual. You can see the regular hustle and bustle. However, about 20 steps out into the lower district, you hear, "Halt! Drow!" And you watch as a contingent of Radiant Templar come walking up to you.
Yeah.
And they go, "We're looking for some potential fugitives. There was a robbery in the warehouse district today. Have you seen anything suspicious?"
I'm afraid I've been in our marketplace for the last 24 hours. When did this happen?
Roughly 2-3 hours ago.
I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Very well. If you see anything suspicious, please make sure you report it to a member of the Radiant Templar, and do bear in mind that though you and your kind have diplomatic immunity due to your status within the city, that does not mean that we will turn a blind eye to any wrongdoing.
Understood.
And
Anything
and
Before he goes, I was like, is there anything I'm supposed to be looking for with these fugitives?
just look for anyone trying to peddle documents or resources that they do not look like they should have access to.
That could be anyone, but alright.
And he just turns, rejoins his patrol, and starts moving. And you see now that patrol is not the only one. You're used to seeing the streets down here a bit bustling with people moving around. there are a lot less people and a lot more Radiant Templar patrols.
It's made
Fantastic.
things a little bit more difficult for ourselves.
Yeah.
Just
You-
a little bit.
You
just a
guys
little bit.
effectively pulled a smash and grab. It's like your original plan was to be quiet. That was
And then
not
we
quiet.
exploded stuff. Yay!
Yeah.
I mean, we could have left Xandor for dead, but
Could
Yeah.
have, but
So
But-
yeah, Fiona will go and look for slave robes.
So searching around for a while, you eventually do find there is a clothier nearby that does sell the slave garments at a vaguely discounted price. These ones are they're not the best quality. They do work and like sell stuff here in the lower district rather than on the surface, so they're obviously not selling to nobles or merchants. They're selling to other poor people down here. Or to other demi-humans and that sort of thing. So to get enough slave garments for the number of slaves, I believe I said there was about 8 in total they had at the time. So for enough for them, it would probably run you about 5 silver in total.
Right. I will pay the 5 silver.
They hand over the garments, and the shopkeeper, a just sort of like old woman, goes, "If you need the markings sewing to them, then please do consider me for that job as well."
Could you actually put? And I'm sure Fiona has her Hylim emblem somewhere.
Yeah.
And she'll.
She goes, yes, one moment," and she scuttles off and comes back with a sewing kit and quickly embroiders on each one this symbol over sort of where the heart would be. And then goes, is this acceptable?
Thank you.
That'll be another 5 silver for the embroidering.
And she hands over the 5 silver.
Thank you. And you can tell this lady is deferential to you, but she is still nervous.
Yeah. Fiona will take the garments. I'm guessing Ert's still with her.
Yeah, helps you carry everything.
When we get back into a private place, Fiona will kind of have a quick chat to her and tell her what her plan is.
Goes, okay, what's going on?
I haven't bought them as slaves, so don't worry. I've bought them
I-
freedom.
I figured that. I was hoping that was the case, and I didn't want to doubt you, but just it's best to double check.
So I'm hoping to get them on side, but with me being a drow, they may not listen to me.
Could we call over, nice lady, from the Triferian camp, Giffer? If we called her over, could she maybe take them? She's human, so it would not look too suspicious, and then she could take them straight to the camp, and either get them out of the city or into her group.
With the Radiant Templar being around, I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. I feel like I need to get them to her.
We could try and move them through the lower city, but it might look suspicious.
Yeah, that's the problem. I've got to move through. I mean, it doesn't look too bad if they're my slaves, but it's where my movements go to.
Oh, wait, hang on. We know where their secret tunnel exits. Yeah, that's how we left.
So we move them out. They're leaving
But-
with me.
Yes, and then go back in through their tunnel. But yeah.
I may need your help on this one. So
what can I do?
we wait for the drow to move out.
I think that's basically already nearly done.
You drop your disguise. They
Yeah.
may listen to you more than me.
Okay.
So, what Fiona basically tells her is they're basically gonna basically these guys that Vienna has bought is going to be the start of the rumours. They're going to go round to the other slaves and tell them that the netters have gone, and basically start spreading the word that the slaves can kind of do a bit of an uprising.
Okay, but
Brilliant.
to do that, these slaves would have to interact. But to do that, these slaves would have to interact with other slaves. But I thought
Yeah.
we were getting them out of the city.
Yeah, I
Good luck
suppose it's
convincing
down
them
to their
do
choice,
that and not
really.
run.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is their choice. If they want to leave, then yes, I suppose.
Maybe we make them aware that there is a resistance movement that they can join
And
if they
if
want.
they want to join, then they can join. Or
Okay.
if they want to leave, this is the
Is it
opportunity for them
is
to
it
leave.
maybe worth calling over Val? He's a bit of a better, more charismatic speaker than me.
Like, really? Really? Really?
Really?
In
I
other
feel
words,
like
the
you've got
DM doesn't want to persuade his own NPCs to do something.
Oh, but it's so
Aw.
we make you talk to yourself.
I mean, I
Yes,
can
but it's
try.
more fulfilling when you guys do it.
I can try,
Yes.
and we can go from there. If they won't listen, then we'll try another tactic.
Okay. Ready when you are.
Okay, and with that, Vienna enters.
Okay. So you head back into the market, and now that you can tell immediately that the drow are gone. You can't hear any movement anywhere in this subterranean structure at all anymore, other than from the slave pens.
Right.
And as you open the door into there, there is just, you can hear like rustling and moving, but there is no sound coming from in here. They're all deathly silent as you step in.
So can I kind of see them all?
So from the doorway, you can sort of look around and you can see everyone who's in here. You can see there's two dragonborn, an Aarakocra, a couple of goblins. What else did I say there was in here again? There's a tabaxi, and probably two lizard folk as well.
Right. Here we go. That Vienna kind of turns to them all and says, "Is there anyone here willing to speak to me?"
They all sort of look between each other, and you can see some of them like nursing fresh like whip marks or brands that probably happened a couple of hours ago but are still smarting. And then eventually you see one of the goblins stand up, and it is an old male goblin, probably late into his 50s, and he's got very wiry sort of grey hair. He
Yeah.
looks a bit unkempt, and one of his eyes is milky, and he sort of goes, "Yes, mistress."
I will carry on speaking to you all, but I don't think you will believe me, but I will try my best. As far as the drow that were here are concerned, I have bought you. What I have actually bought is your freedom. However, I want you to hear what's actually occurring in this city, and it's up to you to decide what you do. Whether you run to freedom, or whether you want to join a resistance. Now I'm going to assess the room and see what's occurring.
Well, first off, roll me a persuasion check.
Here we go. Don't let me down. Oh, that's perception. No, wrong one. Wrong one.
Positive vibes. Positive vibes.
Persuasion. There we go.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Ben.
So,
It was my fault.
I was trying to
probably.
give help.
I'm the dice curse one.
so you watch as they all sort of look between themselves, and you can see a couple of them look like they want to talk to each other, but they're still very nervous around you.
With that, Vienna kind of drops everything and holds her hands up, I am not going to hurt you.
The goblin sort of glances around, and there seems to be some form of like almost non-verbal communication going on. You don't think it's any sort of actual conversation,
Yeah,
but it's
they're
just
kind of
like
giving each other glances. Yeah.
yeah. And the goblin
Can
goes,
I ask a very quick question? If was to cast Fast Friends at 5th level, would they all be under Fast
yeah,
Friends?
but then if they realise that they've been spellcasted,
Yeah.
they mistrust you, aren't they? Like,
Fair point.
Kind of want.
you don't
I
earn
wanna
trust
earn
by
their-
using magic.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
I
kind of
just-
want long-term trust going on.
the goblin goes, we are willing to listen.
With that, Vienna kind of drops the robes that she's carried, and she says, I've brought these as a disguise because there's a lot going on in this city. The Radiant Templar are on patrols, left, right, and centre. They know something's going on. I have some friends in the city who are not drow. They are not like me. In fact, one of them is of Tritherian, as well as Ert here.
Hi. And she gives a little wave, and you see like a couple of them like sort of look at her and look at you, and you can see the immediate thing of like, that is an unlikely combo going through their minds.
It's like, and by the way, Ert is not my slave. She is a friend.
Yeah, Vienna, good friend.
So, there is a resistance in this city that they gather slaves who are willing, or at least slaves that have escaped and are willing to fight for some sort of freedom within the city. I have other things going on that are way beyond that, but I've made you aware of it. I have no idea how to get you there, though, without being suspicious.
Does the old goblin sort of like looks you dead in the eye and just seems to be almost sizing you up?
He's
You
like
can see a
whispering in his mind, insight check.
A couple of the others around you, some of them seem to have perked up at the idea of freedom. A couple of the others seem to have perked up at the idea of a resistance movement and being able to fight back. You can see a couple of them who are still
Not
very
sure.
much undecided.
Mm. Is there anything I can do to prove to you that I'm not a threat to you?
You have the keys.
I do have the keys, but I am worried that if you try doing anything rash, you put all of you in danger. But with that, Vienna says, I will unlock this door, but you must stay put and listen.
The old goblin goes, hold. You are correct in that we cannot make rash choices. To prove trust and to earn trust is difficult. Leave the keys with me. You and your associate leave the room. I will unlock those I can immediately know to trust to have cooler heads. We will then discuss with our friends and fellow captives, calm those who are of the more hot blood. And once we have reached a consensus, we will join you outside to discuss where we go from there.
Vienna kind of looks at the keys and goes, well, this seems familiar to me. Because this is exactly what she's done before. And with that, she hands over the keys to the goblin, stands back and says, we need to wait outside.
Okay. And you and Ert move out, closing the heavy wooden doors behind you. About 15 minutes go by. And you can hear, at first you hear the sounds of the cages being opened, and you hear talking, mumbling through the door. You can't make out any particular words. But after that 15 minutes, the door does open, and the 8 slaves step through. You can see immediately the sort of the leading 3, the 2 goblins and a lizard folk, are obviously designated as the leaders.
Right.
And you see at the back the Tabaxi and one of the Dragonborn looking very frustrated but sort of cowed.
We have to do as we're told. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see that, you can tell that they're the 2 who probably just wanted to immediately grab the nearest thing that looked like a weapon and just go.
Yeah.
But they've been spoken to and talked down and obviously reasoned with. The old goblin sort of looks up at you and goes, "This has begun trust. There are those of us who would have freedom, and those of us who would have revenge. However, the first thing we must do is make sure we are not immediately captured or killed. You have provided disguises. Do you know where we could go where it would be safe?"
I have a plan. It means leaving, and for those that want their freedom, they can go. However, to get to the Resistance, I know a way back into the city that's secret.
They sort of turn and they sort of you see the goblin mumbles to a couple of the others. They have a little huddle. "Very well. We will put a little more trust in you. But no, at the first sign of betrayal, or the first sign of things going wrong, we reserve the right to do what we must."
Then we understand one another.
And the old goblin and the couple and the others begin moving over and picking up the garments and placing them on and adjusting them for the correct sizings. And you see, the lizard folk was quite a big one who was one of the leaders, and he goes over to this Tabaxi and Dragonborn and holds out the clothes to them, and you see that they're
Really
really not
reluctant.
wanting
Yeah.
to. And eventually the lizard folk grabs the Tabaxi in a headlock and just starts dressing them.
Do as you're told, child.
Right.
And it is quite evident that it is the 3 leaders look to be at least middle-aged to older-aged, and the ones who are a bit more headstrong
Carefree,
do look like
yeah.
they're younger.
Yeah.
Teenagers, can't take them anywhere.
I know. Right. With that, Vienna looks him over and goes, "Are you ready?"
As ready as we can be.
That Vienna kind of gives a soft smile, looks at her and says, because it is still in her disguise.
Quickly whips her
Yeah.
cloak back around her and reapplies the disguise.
Right. Onwards. And with that, Vienna will try her best to look like she's just taking her slaves and leaving.
Okay, go ahead and roll a performance check for me. I will say with advantage because you have taken the time to get appropriate disguises. And same roll both times.
Oh, I think she should get to reroll because they're the same.
No, sorry.
Damn it.
As you proceed out of the market and begin heading towards the nearest staircase that you know will lead back up to the upper city, a few of the Radiant Templar do stop and sort of glance in your direction, but they see the outfits and they see that there is a symbol upon them. And
The
they see that.
Highland symbol.
Now they don't
by all
know
means.
that.
All right.
They don't know that, but they see a drow leading slaves with
Yeah.
symbols. And you see a couple of them just sort of shake their head and just look away. And you get the feeling that the Netters maybe at one point operated a delivery service.
Right.
So to them, this is just, oh, it's just a drow taking some noble, then new slaves,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So no one down here so far is giving you any issue.
Oh god.
As you climb the stairs and it slowly gets brighter and brighter, a couple of the slaves behind you, you hear like audible like hissing sounds at the light burning their eyes, and after being underground for so long, but you appear back on the surface and you can see nearby the visitor's gate, the gate that you know
I'm
leads to
supposed
freedom.
to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, it's close and it's probably only a good 5-10 minute walk.
Yeah.
The crowds here aren't too thick, and there doesn't appear to, though there is still Radiant Templar up here, it's not as thick as it is in the lower city. You begin proceeding towards the gate, and as you reach it, you join a queue waiting to be effectively checked out.
Mhm.
And as you get there, the Radiant Templar on duty goes, "Halt! We why are you leaving this way?"
It's the way I came in.
They immediately they frown, go to a big logbook near them, flip through it, and go, "Oh, my apologies, Lady Hylim."
Thank you.
Yeah, right, bitch. You know who I am.
Where are you taking those slaves, may I ask?
They're mine. I bought them. They have my symbol.
Wherever I damn please.
Yes.
Go ahead and
Please.
roll. For this, I would say a persuasion check.
Persuasion, please.
Because you're not lying that you've bought them.
16.
16.
Consistent.
What the fuck?
This is
Am
all
I
with different
die weighted?
modifiers.
Yeah.
You are rolling different numbers.
16 but with a +6? What the? God damn it.
Very well. I've not heard of you drow ever buying your own, but I suppose if you're a visitor, it makes sense. Do you need manacles or an escort, or will you be expecting your own once you have left the city?
I'll be waiting for someone.
Very well. Be on your way.
And with that, we leave. And
Oh, as
not
you go to
straight.
leave, he does stick his leg out as the slaves begin to pass.
Stamp on his foot. Fuck
The
you.
elderly goblin does trip over his leg, and you do see further to the back those two young ones where they were in line. You do see the two
Do something
figures
stupid.
there, tense. But the older goblin makes a hand motion, and they sort of simmer down. The guard doesn't seem to notice and goes, "Phuh, had to get a last kick in," and then turns back to the queue and starts looking at someone else.
Vienna just kind of, she glances back, looks down at him, looks at the guard, and then just carries on as if.
Yep. After you've gotten maybe 20 minutes walk away from the city, you can tell you are now out of
Out of
immediate
sight.
eye shot,
Yeah.
and you can quickly dip into the wheat fields around you to escape sight from the road.
With that, I turn to the rest of them and says, "Now, my end of the bargain. This is your chance."
You see two of them, one of the lizard folk and one of the dragonborn, immediately shed the clothes, bow to you, and then just take off running.
And she looks at what's left and says, "So,
The
Wingdom,
six who are left sort of
of
look at each
freedom?"
other. The old goblin, they all take off their cowls at this point to look at you, and the old goblin goes, "The young ones wish to fight, and us old ones, we won't fight, but we can at least lend a hand how we can. Show us to this resistance group, and we will see what we can do."
Well, onwards to the wings of freedom. That's what they're called, isn't it? Wings of freedom.
Yes.
And with that,
And
Fiona will.
go ahead.
She
and
will be
roll-
on the lookout though for anyone
Yeah.
that might intercept.
So roll a nature check first, or actually no, survival, because you've got to remember where that entrance actually is.
God.
So it takes you most of the day, but you do eventually find.
I will
the
probably
entrance.
have told them what to look out for, the rest of them. So
Yeah.
probably with their help, I'll have eventually have found
Yeah.
it.
And you do manage to avoid any form of detection, because though the Radiant Templar are swarming, they
I
are
think they're more
swarming
focused inside.
inwards.
Yeah.
They're not focusing on the outside, so it's not difficult to keep out of
Right.
eye shot. But it's probably coming up to early afternoon by the time you actually you had left in the morning. It's now early afternoon when you re-find the tunnel and go down it, and eventually you reach towards the end and you can see the flickering of the lights, and you hear a voice go, "Halt! Who goes there?"
Oh, this is down the tunnel, isn't it?
Yes.
Fiona say, it's the drow that's on your side with a few new members.
Yeah, you just hear like a puzzled silence from the end, and you hear someone mutter, "Trials on our side? I don't know. Go get Giffer. She probably knows." And you hear running feet, and then from the other end you hear, "You idiots!" And you see Giffer come running into the tunnel, and then she sees you and goes, "Oh, that drow." And you could see she had her mace out and was proper prepared for battle.
And with that, like Fiona smiling and said, "As of today, I am apparently the only drow in the city."
Well, that's good to hear. Well, hello to everyone there. Hello, new recruits, I believe you said.
Yeah.
Well, please come in. We'll find you some billets, get you some food, get you some water, and obviously treat any wounds you've got. Please come in. And you watch as they all sort of shuffle past you, and as they do, the old goblin stops, looks up at you, Vienna, and just holds out a hand.
Fiona goes and shakes it.
He goes, "Gratum. It's my name.
Gratum. I am Vienna.
A pleasure to make the acquaintance of a decent one of your kind."
If it's any constellation, I turned from Lolth a long time ago.
Now, let me just say, have you heard of our saviour?
Oh yeah, I was
Oh.
waiting for him to go. About
The
Tri-Thick."
goblin gives you a grin that's missing a few teeth and goes, "We goblins know about poor gods. Maglubiot isn't exactly kind."
Right, this is where I'm actually going to write down the name because I will forget it.
Oh yeah, let me add to my notes. How the hell do you spell this name?
Gartak. Gartak.
Garzak.
G-A-R...
Rtak.
Goblin dude.
Goblin dude. Cool.
But he then lets go of your hand, bows, and walks into the camp. Giffer at this point goes, right,
With that, Fiona just lets out the biggest sigh. Just like, that was hard work.
by the way, what the hell did your friends do?
I have no idea. What did my friends do?
Well, we're just
whatever they
upstairs
did,
drinking in a room waiting.
You're not in that place. You're in a
Oh, is
separate
this
inn.
a different tavern? I thought
Yeah,
we
no,
were just upstairs
so
from that one.
give-
Oh
give-
no, we're in
give
the one
her a-
underground, aren't we?
So this is the Trifarian camp. You're at a
Right.
tavern in the city.
Oh no, yeah, because
Okay.
I thought the tunnel went through to the bottom underside of this
No,
of
that
the
is
tavern.
that is a
Is that
separate tunnel.
tavern?
That is a
Oh, right, okay. It's like,
smuggler's
that's what I
tunnel.
thought we were. I was just like, what?
No, that is a
It's true.
smuggler's. That is a smuggler's tunnel that Hestia has, which is only
Right.
big enough for Hestia and anything she wants to send out of the city. It's not big enough for
Right,
people.
Okay. I could have sworn that we ended up in the bottom of a tavern
No.
and we hid there. I'm pretty sure we did.
I
Yeah.
feel like it sounds familiar.
That's
as
in a
well.
VOD, man. We definitely went for a tunnel and ended up in the underside of a tavern.
We hid in
Yes,
a
no,
different
that
tavern.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
It's
was
just that it's not this tavern that Dave just
yeah,
went into.
it's the
Yeah.
other
no.
one.
So
Yeah.
So this is a hollowed out cavern that you're currently in, which is the
One we
resistance
had.
camp.
Doug.
Yeah. The other place that you're thinking of was the Sunset Siesta, which is in the visitors district, but that tunnel was built as a escape route for slaves and as a safe house. This is the actual resistance camp.
So we're at the safe house, you're at the resistance.
No, you're at the Gloomstalker Inn in the lower city.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
There's multiple taverns.
There's
Yeah.
far too many taverns. Okay.
And the
Welcome
cavern,
to Dungeons and Taverns.
where
Forget the dragon.
Vienna and the slaves are right now, are where Xandal almost got taken out by the goblin.
Yeah.
Slug.
Turned green slard. Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
we're in the tavern that Xandal went to in case there was any inquiry into.
So we could pretend that he was our
Yeah.
slave master.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
Okay.
where Vienna
Giffer
is,
goes, whatever they did, they've kicked over the bloody hornet's nest. There's Radiant Templar everywhere, and also the Pelorites aren't giving away food anymore, which obviously is a good thing, but at the same time a bad thing, because that means less food.
I have a feeling it was them.
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything recently, so the only other group I know that would be probably stupid enough to do something is you lot. So
Perhaps we should come in and do you have a room for a message? Perhaps.
yeah, should do.
With like Vienna goes, maybe you should get their attention and mention that our job is done and we are back at the Tritherian camp. What's going
Okay,
on with you?
Will do. And you see her mutter a couple of phrases and make a couple of hand gestures, and then she goes, Val, me and Vienna done. Back at Triferian camp, Giffer says, what the hell did you all do? You bunch of idiots. Think we need talk. And Val,
Alright.
as you are sat in the room at the tavern, having probably only just woken up from a rest or having recovered from your hijinks outside, you received that message.
I will relay that back to the group, but also go. Went to investigate warehouse. Turned out to be clusterfuck. Got paperwork. Could be useful. Think meeting up would be really useful.
Okay. He says thinks meeting up would be really useful. Should I ask him where to meet up?
Yeah, where's safe to meet up?
Right.
Because and with that, Fiona says, mention to him that Radiant Templar are patrolling like crazy now.
Okay. Where should we meet? Be warned, Radiant Templar swarming lower city. Could be risky to come here. What do you think?
I can't move because I've left.
Yeah, but you've still got your slave gear because it's been storing that in the book that she's got.
Right.
So you've still got your slave gear that's
So we can still
made out
defend, yeah.
to look like you're a Gold Hill owned slave.
Mm,
So you can still move around. It's just whether you get stopped.
yeah.
Do quotation marks count as words?
I would not count them as words, but
How would
depends
you
on the
portray
context
that
they're
in
used
voice?
in.
This is in quotation marks. This statement is
Maybe
in quotation
tone?
marks. Sarcasm. Sarcasm doesn't work in. Wait, do
Transporting.
they hear your voice as you speak?
Yes,
Like, would they hear sarcastic tones?
yes, they would hear the tone and everything of your voice. Yes.
Transporting Slaves tends to get past Templars. We are at, is it Gloomstalker Inn?
Yes. The Gloomstalker Inn.
With Xandal pretending to be Slaver, could meet here? Question mark?
Okay. Relays that to you, Vienna.
I think we're gonna have to don our slaves' disguises again and have a reason to go there.
Okay, alright, well that's good for me. Obviously, go down the tunnel to the illusion and the lads will keep an eye out and tell you when it's clear for you to get out and scarper. Okay, lovely seeing you all again. Thank you for the new recruits, and tell your friends next time, subtlety. Subtlety is good.
Not a strong point.
No. Oh,
And-
we've tried.
Okay, then gets the book out and quickly pulls out the slave gear, and then anything that you want storing, she stores into the book, which she then carefully sort of
Yeah,
bundles
gaunt-
under her slave gear.
gauntlets come off. Anything that's on show will
Yep.
come off. But other than that, she'll probably still have a Winter's Moon on her. But
Yes.
that's about
Yeah,
it.
we decided last time that didn't show up too badly
No.
through the slave gear. Okay.
So yeah, we don it, and first of all, before she leaves though, she's like, "Where is this place? Give us." Does anyone know where that is? Because I
Give-
don't think Fiona's actually been there before, has she?
Give her one of the guards at the front near the illusory entrance sort of points the cup out and like gives you some directions, telling you how to get to the Gloomstalker Inn.
Okay. With that, we put Don Slave goes and goes, right, we need to look the part and go.
Okay. Waiting a couple of minutes, one of the guards gives you the signal that it is clear to go, and you quickly scurry out of the illusory wall and out into this outer area of the lower city and begin making your way towards the Gloomstalker Inn. I need both you and Ert to make stealth checks for me, please.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Really? What is
Oh,
just-
god damn it.
betrayed by all dice gods right now? Fuck.
Vienna's still lording it around like she's in charge of everything.
Trying to pretend to be a slave, but she's walking around with her head held high, being like,
I've clicked the button. I don't know if it's going through.
Nothing's come through yet.
Oh, what for? Come on,
Yeah.
Please,
Save the day.
It
Save the
came-
day like you always do.
It's just come through on my D&D Beyond. Rolled a stealth check 23.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've just seen it. That was a
Okay.
I think, does that mean she? No, did she rolled a nat 20?
I rolled it 3 times to try and get it to go through, so...
Yeah,
And
13,
then the first one, it
21,
says stealth
and
plus
23.
3, 20 plus 3 equals 23.
That's fine.
One
Nat 20
D20
then.
roll. 1 minute ago, it's not showing any other rolls.
So your
No.
Beyond 20 must not be
God damn it, let me try...
linked properly.
Did you do features and traits first? Because if you don't do that, it won't pass the results properly.
What do you mean features
Anyway.
and traits first?
On your character sheet, normally when you open up your character sheet and you've got the VTT open, it will say D&D Beyond can't pass your results. Please click features and traits. So, you know, you've got action spells, inventory, features, traits, description, notes,
I'll
extra on the
refresh.
character sheet. Features and traits
Nothing's
will
popped up.
make it pass.
I'll try it one last time.
Rolled another stealth check, this time a 6.
No, nothing come through, but that's fine. I'll take the 23.
Okay,
If we
I'm
have,
just
That'll
reiterating
be a
that
nat
the first
20
roll
then.
was a nat 20,
yep. So
which is hilarious.
in the meantime, whilst we're role playing, Ben, feel free to try and sort that out. But that's background. It won't affect things too much. If we have to, you can just tell me the rolls.
Might have to
'cause I
reset roll 20
I-
and the character sheet.
I can always double check them on the D&D Beyond
Oh.
roll history. So Vienna, you start to move, and immediately you almost like trip as the loose shale under your feet just sort of gets to you. But is immediately there and is like supporting you, and
Oh.
she immediately starts guiding you through back alleys and seems to be able to find every patch of dark shadow, and is just being an absolute stealth goddess right now, and
That's
you
my
are just
girl.
being
really wants to find the group again.
you are just being taken along for the ride, and there's a point where there's a street ahead, and you just go to walk out, and it just like grabs you and yanks you back and presses you against the wall as a radiant Templar patrol goes past. It's very much that classic thing of one really stealthy person and just they're a complete oblivious ally, just like
Come on!
But
thank you.
after
Thank you.
after about a 15-minute sort of walk and careful movement, you do eventually reach the outside of the Gloomstalker Inn.
Hey, it's working.
Okay, and with that we go in.
Okay. As you go in, you see stood behind the bar a small gnome woman who looks up and she goes, "Hello, can I help you?"
We're some of Gold Hill's slaves. Which room?
Oh, you're with them. Okay, upstairs, room 2.
And we go.
Okay. You go upstairs and there are only 3 rooms in this tavern, but you all hear a knock at the door of your room.
We expecting someone, right?
Val's probably still in discussion with Xandal, just like, if we just blow up his entire mansion, surely he can
I'll
stop
get
doing
it
what
on
he's
then.
doing.
That
Needs to
Fiona,
get-
Fiona shouts under the door. Open the fucking door!
Sandal sat there with like a nice
Nice to meet
patch on,
you.
going, "I'm just ready to blow up this entire city." To be fair, but
Let's not blow up another one and close up the door.
We need to find the guy with the powder. The guy with the powder is key.
I'm not going to argue. I want to blow up the city as well, 100%. But maybe get the people out first who don't deserve to die because the rest of the city are assholes.
Fair
Fiona
point.
kind of drops the cloak, looks around and goes, sits down.
Hey, Vienna. How
Would
was...
you like a watered down ale?
Anything I'll do right now.
I'll pour her a drink and hand it to her. It's
How
shit,
was-
by the way.
Yeah, it is
Take the sip and went,
disgusting.
I changed my mind. Not anything will do right now.
You're lost and I'll down it.
How was the company of your own people? Like, you know,
I
how did that
remembered
go?
why I left, to be honest.
Why is your
So-
right eye twitching? You okay?
Poor is just like...
Comes up to you, Val, and goes, "I've seen things and heard things that cannot be unheard."
Blessed. Give a hug. Just...
like,
She hugs you back and goes, "Drow are both scary and a little bit sexy."
yes. we are.
Yeah.
That is how I would describe Vienna, yes.
Yeah, sitting there like proud as punch. Like, yes, they are.
Val, Vienna is maybe a 2 on the scale. I saw 9s and 10s.
Vienna's like, wait, what? 2?
There's a scale that you need
Did
to learn
you call
about.
Vienna not attractive?
Turns around and goes, "Compared to that priestess."
Later, I'll tell you about this scale. It's called the Crazy Hot Scale, and there's this line that goes across the bar graph. I'll tell you more about it later.
Every single drow bounces over that line, Val. Every single one, except the men. The men are probably way underneath it.
Ever
Yeah,
are we going to
true
tell Wilma?
So Vienna goes, by the
I
way,
didn't do anything. I was good.
the drow are gone.
Wait, what?
Drow are gone? What?
The drow are gone.
How did you get rid of them?
I may have sent them to better prospects.
She started a bloody rebellion.
Where?
Why did you send them?
Vienna,
you know-
We're just gonna
you
leave
know
off
how we-
here.
You know how we ruined Minas Pengoli citizens' lives?
Oh dear God, no.
You
Vienna,
sent no.
Vienna decided
No.
to double down.
Oh God. We should be done for war crimes at this point.
they're gone. One problem at a time. You
I
know?
mean, in fairness, there was one of our party back in the past called Rawin, We were at the seaside town, and she just
I
decided to
remember her.
burn
I
the
did
entire
everything.
town to the ground.
Yes, she was just
So-
crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just speaking ill of the dead, man. So messed
Yeah.
up.
Fiona was just like, I met her once. I thought she was a right softie, but didn't know she had that in her.
Yeah,
She's,
like,
she's looking down at us like, you traitors.
Who says she's looking down?
Or looking up at you, I don't know.
just gives me
Try to
like
be hopeful,
The
man.
bombastic
vibes
side eye.
of that kind
Bombastic
of.
side eye.
She might not have ever left the Jig and Jester. You don't know.
True.
Oh.
There's a cat from somewhere. When did
Right,
you say
so-
cat? Yeah.
Sorry, that's my zero. He's being a hungry boy, aren't you? Yes, you are. I'm not feeding you yet, piss off.
So
A break
yeah,
time.
that-
Wait.
yeah, Fiona
Wait.
actually explained everything that happened on her part, basically up to the Netters going, and also taking the slaves back to the Tritherian camp.
I mean, that's
So the
good.
nest has
more
been
people
gone.
is good.
We can't try and sneak into Worthington's pretending to be your slaves anymore.
I think.
Wait, that was the plan.
Well, I mean, we
It was a
He's
plan. I think
connected
that was
somehow.
like D or E.
yeah.
I was going to say I
Obviously,
personally
we're just
don't think
leaning
that
more
was
towards
it.
blowing everything up, but there's a connection between this Alberic asshole and how they're getting these resources, blossoms or something. If we could get into his house and maybe get some evidence, at least then we'd be justified in... Wait, it's not like we can just hand it into the city here. They're not going to allow us to kill him or give a shit, are they? Hell, they're probably in on it. Why do we need to break into Worthington's? I mean, they want to, don't get me wrong. I want to really fuck with
Blossom,
them,
Blossom, you do remember in that vision you saw, it was a person in very nice-looking priest's robes asking Albrecht to make this slad do what it was doing.
Yeah.
So you get the feeling there is at least one member of the clergy involved in this.
If we're going to do anything with Worthington's estate, it's got to be now whilst he's away. That's what I'm feeling.
Alright.
So we could leave it alone and then try and find random evidence across the town. Or we could just, like, bite the bullet, go and try and infiltrate his estate, do some snooping, investigation, and see what happens.
Isn't his estate likely going to be under more protection now? If he's the one controlling them, and we've just got the documents that pretty much give us all the information we need.
Well, I mean, the paper just had, like, initials, right? You only saw something in here, right? We believe you, but who else is going to believe that you touched a piece of paper and saw, oh, this man is involved? And they could be like, well, those initials could be anyone.
I'm going to guess all this paperwork's still here.
No,
It-
the underground took it. We
No,
may have to-
Hestia made copies.
Oh,
to
did she
send
make
mine.
copies?
We also
we
have
got
to take into consideration that his estate may have more of them bloody statues.
Oh, I hope not.
Is there anything in that paperwork that you couldn't read?
I think there was a couple of pieces we couldn't read, or we just got a vague
Isn't it more
idea.
a cipher than a separate language?
Yeah. We couldn't
Okay.
decipher them. They? Oh, maybe that. They wouldn't. They probably wouldn't have the drow in on it. They may
I'm
act
actually
like they're allies,
struggling-
but I don't think they like the drow.
I'm
any more than-
struggling to find it now, but I'm dead
Anyone else?
sure I used to have a feature.
You have Eyes of the Runekeeper, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
That is
thank
one of your
I can read
Eldritch invocations.
everything.
Will
Yeah.
that work on something that is a cipher? Is that considered a language? Like,
No, a cipher is not, but Vienna
I mean,
roll
not a
an
cipher, sorry, the
investigation
code.
check.
Roll it, please. 18.
18. As you're skimming through these documents they've managed to procure, most of them are bog standard stuff, and the ones that are in a cipher are in a cipher. But then as you're sort of skimming through, there's one and as you sort of flick past it, you sort of realize that wasn't common. Everything else so far has been written in common, but there's one paper that you've just flicked past that wasn't in common. You quickly pull it out. You don't know what language this is.
No,
have
but I can
never-
just read it.
Yeah, basically what Eyes of the Runekeeper does is it doesn't like rearrange it so you can read it. It just allows you to intrinsically understand a
What it
written
is. Okay.
form of communication. So you know what these symbols mean. You know what the actual meaning behind these is. You just don't know what they are.
No.
This is not a language you have ever seen or even come across anywhere before. But on it, you see written, "Glory to Vastan. The recruitment goes well. Soon we will infiltrate further into their society. Please report to, hang on, I've just got to check his name again. Handor, that we are able to replace another influential figure soon." And that's all it says.
Fiona will read that out to the group. This sound like anything to you?
Or replacing an important I mean, that fucking green bitch at the ball. She was disguised as something else. Fuck. How many officials in this town are lizard people?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I didn't say the whole word, damn it.
You went to say it.
Fuck. Well, wisdom save, yeah?
Yep.
That one.
Shut up.
Oh!
Fuck you! You put that in the well!
I
You
cursed
take
you.
16 points of psychic damage.
Ow!
I need to
And
learn to
you-
keep my mouth shut.
And Talia, you feel as something's attention snaps to you.
We have just fucked up. We need to leave and we need to find somewhere else to hide. I said the word. I don't know. I got this feeling something's staring right at me right now. We need to get out of here. Don't say that word. Lizard people. Fuck. Shit.
So, straight to Worthington's estate?
I would have to add that pan and into the fire.
Well, we don't want to go back to Safe Haven.
Do you feel like those eyes are looking at you permanently while we're having this conversation?
I don't know.
You feel like the vision has it sort of lasted for about 10 seconds, and then the feeling has lessened.
It lasted about, I don't know, 10 seconds. It feels like it's lessening, but I don't know whether... did they see through my eyes? Is there anything that could tell
And
them
that's
where
when
we
you said the
are
word
from in this room?
Dolls?
No, when I said that...
When you said the word
Fuck, I
dolls.
lost- Dolls?
The
How
toad.
a card this?
Dolls?
What are you talking about? What are you saying? Al? Are you what?
I'm gonna
What
guess
is
it's
the
Think
word
like, think like
backwards?
Dracula and Alucard. Think like Dracula and Alucard.
I'm
it's
saying the word
backwards.
He's
in
reversed it.
reverse. I'm seeing what happens. Dolls. 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 Cool. That's the new word.
I mean, I put green meanies, but okay. I don't know how it can see me. I don't know if it like sees me, if it sees through my eyes. I feel like while we're talking, they're going to be squaring up right where we are. I feel like we
That's
should
cool.
move.
Where shall we go?
We've all got.
Talia,
No, fuck
what's your passive perception, by the way?
My passive perception is 19.
19. As you're talking, you don't see anything, but you hear outside the window just the like loosening of stone, and
I'm gonna
like-
quickly run to the window and be like that, like to everyone.
We've all got Gold Hill slave robes, right?
Yep.
Gold Hill slave robes, go. Xandal, go. In front, let's go. Anywhere.
Wherever Xandal wants to take us.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's
We
go.
can't go through a secret tunnel, so we've got to go out. You know.
Yeah.
We don't know what you're saying.
I'm just saying, go! You've
Yeah.
just told them that there's secret fucking tunnels! Let's just fucking go!
Yeah.
Okay. So you all quickly get dressed into your slave garb, except for Xandal,
Mhm.
and I'm assuming you leave the Gloomstalker Inn.
Yeah.
Yep. As you're leaving, you see Hestia sort of look up and go, okay, bye. And you all quickly move out into the streets.
Bye.
Where are you wanting to go?
Somewhere very inconspicuous.
I'll go in his head and just start directing him to the stairs that go to the upper district, like I did before.
Those are easy to find. You can see them from most of the places because they
Yeah.
are these tall spiraling structures. But you start moving through, and eventually, Talia, you feel like you've maybe lost whatever was watching you through the window. You don't hear any sounds anymore, and there's no weird, like, rustling or anything. Everything seems normal.
Yeah, we're just following Xandal.
Is,
Okay.
Queenie, she hasn't been destroyed or anything, so I can still summon her, right?
Yeah, you could summon Queenie if you wanted to.
I might, kind of subtly call her and get her to try and follow us as stealthily as a raven would have the intelligence, fiend raven would have the intelligence to do so, and just keep feeding me whether it sees anything.
Yeah, okay, you do that. By the way, I need you. Are you guys trying to move stealthily or blend in, or are you just?
I think trying to blend
Are
in.
you just
Blend
going?
in.
Okay.
Both.
I think partially blend in, but Val's also going to keep an eye out for Doc Brown, or whatever his name is, the guy,
Ptolemy.
yeah, with the exploding
Powder.
powder.
Okay. So go ahead, and I need you to roll me a group performance check
Okay.
to see how well you do at not drawing the attention of the large amounts of Radiant Templar around.
22.
0.
Nice.
Oh,
0.
Jesus Christ.
What is worse than a nat 1? 0.
-2 to performance?
I mean, do you
Holy
really see
shit.
Xandal as an actor?
No, I don't even think you could lie convincingly as Xandal, to be fair. but-
Can someone please unweight my dice?
Okay. So,
Oh god.
that is a
We-
50-50 split, roughly. I'm gonna flip for it. Okay. So, making your way through, Xandal is just completely spooked and isn't really acting like he should be. He's like constantly like glancing back at all of you and seems to be like trying to take like the feelings of confidence from you guys when he should really be, you know, being the master and leading from the front, but he doesn't seem to be doing that.
Don't make
Val-
me charge electric charge on you.
Val and Vienna are like, Val is spending too much time like trying to guide Xandal, and Vienna is still just not quite in the right mindset.
No, clearly not.
But
Me and
however,
Blossom are just desperately trying to cover for you.
yeah, Blossom and Talia and manage to just about cover for the rest of you. And though you draw some suspicious gazes from the Radiant Templar, they seem to be, they shrug it off as they're too busy searching. But you
It
feel
might
like
be them that's making us suspicious.
you feel like a couple of them have clocked you, and you get the feeling if you're seen again, they may decide that they need to interrogate you. In the meantime, Val, make an investigation check.
Cool.
Or
yeah.
investigation or perception, your choice.
Oh, definitely perception with a +5. as opposed to a plus 0. Not that it fucking matters.
I knew I should have given you advantage.
Whoa.
9. Moving through the area of the lower city towards the nearest set of stairs, you keep an eye out, but you don't see any sign of Ptolemy or potentially his shop. But you quickly reach the stairs and begin climbing. As you do, you get to the top of these stairs and come out into the sunlight. And where you have come out from where you would have gone, so you are in an area of the city that you have not been to before.
Wonderful.
The nearest set of stairs, you come out right alongside a large Colosseum-looking structure, from within which you can hear yelling and sounds of like weapons hitting weapons and that sort of thing. You don't hear a sound of a crowd, so you don't think it's an actual games day, but you have come out right beside this Colosseum.
Can we go for a quick break as we get to the top of the stairs?
Yes, we will quickly take a break, guys. Go and get drinks, whatever you need, and then we'll be back to see where this chaotic group go from there.
We're so gonna die here.
Yeah, we're
Oh
gonna die.
yeah, this is
But
where it all ends.
It's gonna be fun. So, be right back, guys. Bye.
Bye, see you in a moment. Hello, and welcome back. So, to pick up where we left off, you all get to the top of this staircase and step out alongside this large Roman Colosseum-like building. The first thing you all notice is the heat. As you have stepped out on the eastern side of the glimmer, that barrier that passes through the city, you are now in the desert side of the city, and it is oppressively hot. The sun and the day crystal above you both beating down on you constantly. The ground underneath your feet is cracked and sandy, and the people moving around you are sweaty and red in the face. But you are now stood in this desert-like street. From looking at the day crystal above, you can tell you are on the southern side of the city. What would you all like to do?
We're just following Zandal.
Val is going to go
Zandal
into
goes-
Xandel's mind and just go, you need to find directions to Worthington's place. Maybe try and play it off like you're trying to sell a load of slaves or taking slaves to him. See what the reaction is.
Okay. I look around for
You the
someone
man.
that looks like they're willing to talk.
So glancing around, you see that there are a number of slaves going about their daily business. You see a number of families and people moving around. Again, all human or humanoid looking in this case, or with humanoid features rather than demi-human. There are a couple of Radiant Templar moving around as well. Any of them could be a potential to ask. It's up to you.
I'll probably walk up to one of the Templar.
One of them, you see, it's a woman dressed in quite nice plate. She looks like she's probably half elf by the look of her, and you can see underneath the helmet she's got sort of dark swarthy skin, dark brown chocolate eyes, and she turns and goes, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Oh, hi. I'm looking for Worthington's place. I don't know if you have any idea. I think I've got myself turned around a little.
You were visitor to the city, sir.
Recently moved in.
Ah, very well. What is your name, may I ask?
It's Goldhill.
Goldhill. Oh yes, I think I've heard of your family from River Run, correct?
Yes.
Good area. That good place, good farming land, I believe.
It really is. It's home.
Well, Worthington's estate will be in the Nobles District. I believe Worthington himself is currently out of the city on a diplomatic mission, though.
Oh.
What business did you have with him?
I was looking about the sale and accrual of slaves.
She sort of looks at her partner, who you see in this case it is a what looks like a dwarf, stood there, and he goes, I suppose they could at least go and lodge interest with Handor. Might be worth it. She turns back to you and goes, well, the Nobles District, head as far north as you can. That is the most northern point of the sun. And Worthington's estate, I believe, is on the eastern side of the Glimmering. Obviously, the guards will probably let you in if you explain who you are and what you're there for. Whether they'll see you at the Worthington estate will be down to them.
Ah, many thanks. I did hear there was a lot of commotion around one area before. Do you know what's happening?
Yes, someone's done a bit of a silly thing over in the warehouse district. Don't worry, we're taking care of it.
Ah, wonderful.
Although, if you do see anything suspicious, please do let a member of the Templar know. And if you see anyone peddling documents or resources, trying to sell them, then please also do let us know.
Oh, of course. So you're just searching for a bunch of not rights. I've got it. If we hear
Indeed,
anything, we'll let you know.
we aren't sure who perpetrated the deed, but we're running on the normal assumptions that it is some insurgents from the lower city or from the leftovers of the lesser races, who have yet to be corralled or stamped out.
Fair. Well, thank you very much. If we hear anything, we will let you know.
Very good. They sort of glance past you. Are those your slaves, sir?
They are, yes.
I'm assuming they're the ones you're wanting to take to show to Worthington?
They are.
They sort of eye the group. Interesting bunch.
Yeah. They
What
do a fair task, but
what races have you got there?
I have a Dragonborn, I think. One of the big scaly ones, anyway.
They all look quite similar, don't they?
Yes.
Fuck this guy.
And one of those devil childs. The rest are all just sort of like lesser types.
Well,
I'm a proper tabaxi, but
is the what sex is the what sex is it?
Both.
Both? What about the scaly one? Do you know?
The
Wait, I'm
Dragonborn is
born
sexy as
genders?
hell.
what? Okay.
I believe it's the male. They all tend to look the same.
Well, if you can't sell them to Worthington, I know that the they point right next to you to the arena, and go, I know that the person who runs the arena is always looking for new champions. If you want to sell them, go and talk to Shyla Morningstar, especially with that that shield they're carrying. I'm assuming that's a punishment of some sort.
Yes.
They seem to be handling
Absolutely.
it well. Solid bronze like that must weigh a bunch. They've probably got a decent amount of strength to them. Shyla's always looking for someone to challenge Grimscythe, so could make for an interesting fight.
Of course. Oh, if I have no luck with Worthington, then I may come back and offer him up, at least.
As for the Devil Child, I'm pretty sure most of the nobles will snap your hand off for one of them. They enjoy their little
She's just repeating in her head, must not stab the fucker, must not stab the fucker.
enjoy their little idiosyncrasies, indulgences,
Everyone has their vices, don't they?
and their kinks.
Fuck.
Yes.
That guy.
Well, I shall leave you to your work. Thank you very much for your time. He offers her
She
a little
nods.
wink and walks in the
Yeah,
direction
she
that
nods and
punched.
smiles and then turns back to her partner and they move off on patrol again.
And off he tods.
You begin making your way through the city, keeping an eye on the central dawn crystal and the hulking site of the crystalline cathedral as you move, using that as your focal point to move around.
Fiona's trying not to look at it at all. She's like,
Has
"Ugh."
Queenie spotted anything she should be tailing us?
Queenie does not seem to have spotted anything, no.
Probably blinded, poor thing.
Blown straight into the sun.
I did what I did earlier on where I just flew into the window.
But about 40 minutes walk later, moving through the city, using alleyways and back roads as much as possible to keep out of sight of more Radiant Templar and of any... You do occasionally see those nobles on palanquins going past, with everyone having moved to the side to give them room. And they are not pleasant sights, especially on this side of the Glimmering where it is hotter. You see one particular, you assume, young man, but have you ever heard of the description of Dudley Dursley as a whale? It's like that. There is just folds and flaps of pale, like flesh that's slathered in oil, and he's just sweating constantly.
No,
Whilst-
for real, no fat shaming, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is like morbidly obese. You do not think this person actually ever gets off the palanquin. We're talking Jabba the Hutt level.
oh,
We're talking proper bad.
One more bagel from keeling over, almost.
Very much so. And you do see, like, knelt next to him is a priest, and they're like, their hands are glowing, and you can see that like they're actively casting healing magic on him as they're moving.
A sunburn.
You're not sure.
I know.
Or for cholesterol. One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. But eventually you do reach the northernmost point of the city, and you can see you're now stood in front of a gate which the Glimmering goes through perfectly half and half. And you're stood just on the eastern side of the Glimmering, and you can see just ahead of you this shimmering effect in the air, and on the other side of it there is grass and green plants, but on this side there is sand and dust and heat. It's an impressive display of divine magic. But again, you can see this Glimmering goes exactly halfway through the gate ahead of you. And you see here there are Radiant Templar posted on the gate, and these ones are much better armored than the ones you've seen so far. These ones, like, their armor is gleaming and polished. They look like they are very well trained and very, like, they take their job a lot more seriously than some of the others you've seen. And past them into the district of this pronged sun-like shape, you can see that there are multiple mansions, and again the styles vary. On the western side of the Glimmering, you're looking at like classic French chateaus, you're looking at Germanic sort of castles, whereas on the eastern side, in the deserty bit, you're looking at like squat villas and like carefully constructed swooping palaces that are designed to deal with the desert heat. It's a very strange mishmash of architecture, but again, everywhere you look there is just ostentatious wealth on display. But what would you all like to do?
I think
Still
stood a
acting our
little
part.
ways.
Yeah.
Stood a little ways from like earshot from anyone. Like, are we going in then or what?
Can't really go back.
Very well.
Anyone got any alternatives?
Don't know.
I feel like we're going into a hornet's nest here, but
Where are we going?
to Worthington,
Hornet's
apparently.
nest.
Yeah.
I think we're falling right into a volcano full of hornets' nests.
I mean, if the hornets were in the volcano, they'd be dead, so maybe it'll be quiet.
Maybe. But, I mean, it's as good a recon as any.
What did he say about those, an alternative person instead of Worthington? Was it Haydor?
Handor.
Handor. That was the guy that I read about that letter, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
And Blossom in the vision saw the grey slard being called Handor. And you have been told that Handor is you've been told by a couple of people Handor is Worthington's right hand man and bodyguard.
Yeah.
He is like almost like the maestrodomo of the household. He is like Worthington is the one who lives there, but Handor runs the place.
Yeah, so if we go into Worthington's place, we're at risk at fighting a doll.
Dolls.
Grey toad.
Dolls. Oh.
So
You've defeated one before, just about.
Yeah, but not. I don't know. The colors seem to mean different things. I don't.
Bearing in
think grey
mind,
sounds like a
we
good
haven't
idea.
yet rested from taking the pounding that we did get.
Yeah, no, I've taken
Yes, we
damage
have.
since then. I'm on 43 health. Did we finish a long rest?
I'm on 18.
No, you guys did not have a long rest.
No,
You
I
just didn't
not
take
rest.
any damage in that fight, really, Talia.
Yeah, but I've then taken 16 points of psychic damage from that bloody
Yes.
slip
Yeah.
up. So
So we need to find somewhere to hunker down.
Perhaps we can get a scope of the land more and just say, oh, we were told to meet a retail developer here. We were interested in, or I was interested in a plot of land.
yeah, don't say we. You're going to get us killed if you say we.
Yeah. I may let us in.
It might let you in, maybe not us.
Well, who's going to carry my stuff?
I am so scared of being found because if they even look under my hood, there's just like, why is there a drow?
Or why
I
is there a
bought it
drow
fair
that
and
we
square.
saw? Why is there a drow who left? I'm assuming to get to the
Yeah.
tunnel. Like,
With very distinctive pink hair.
want to be pretty suspicious.
So I'm trying my best to not be, which is why I'm a bit like, I don't really want to be going in here right now.
Whatever we're doing, let's not loiter. We're looking suspicious.
Make a decision, guys.
Let's just go to Worthington's. Fuck it.
Okay,
We-
let's go.
Taking
Okay.
too much time. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. So you approach the gate, and the Templars sort of look up and go, halt! State your business.
Hi, we were looking to find Handor.
Just
About
don't say fucking we.
Handor. And it's at this point you see a figure walking down the road, and Handor goes, "Who's calling for me?"
Shit.
Oh,
And you see this very he's 7 foot tall, human, very broad shoulders, lots of scars. He's got like one going through his eye, one going through like his bottom lip. He's got scars going down the side of his neck and on his arms. He's got tribal tattoos everywhere, and he's bald, like shaven bald. And he's got very dark brown eyes that are sort of slightly sunken into his head. And you can see he's carrying this great big great sword slung across his back. And he steps up and goes, "I'm Handor. What
Hi.
business do you have with me?"
I was told to come find you to try and arrange a meeting with Lord Worthington. in regards to the sale and acquisition of slaves. I heard that Worthington is not in town currently.
Indeed, my master is currently out on a diplomatic mission. However, yes, I believe we can have a discussion.
Of
He
course.
turns to the guards. Let them through. I'll take them to the house. He turns and begins walking away. The guards part and let you pass through.
Yep. Following.
Okay. He guides you through the district to almost the most northeasterly point, where you see this beautiful white marble palace with all around it beautifully maintained rock gardens and small patches of flowers and beauty. It's just absolutely beautiful. And Handor sort of leads you to the front door and then goes, please enter into my master's home, and opens the front door leading into this gorgeous foyer. And it's large, and you can see there are 2 statues flanking a set of double doors opposite you, and then there is 2 doors in the right-hand wall and 1 in the left. Handor heads over to one of the doors in the right-hand wall, opening it and guiding you through into what appears to be a small office space. He goes, please, come, young, I did not catch your name. What is it?
It's Goldhill.
Please, come in. Yours, the product can wait out here until we are prepared to discuss it.
Of course. He kind of just sort of like looks back at everyone
We're just doing as we're told.
and then just walks in, following behind.
Yep. As you go in, Handor closes the door behind you, moves around to sit on the opposite side of the desk, and smiles at you and goes, have a seat.
Many thank yous. And I take a seat.
So, what are you wanting to sell? What are you looking to gain? Are you trying to buy, sell?
I'm more interested in potentially buying than I am selling. My work tends to sort of like leave me kind of having to lift a lot of products, so I kind of need the muscle mass around, hence the size of them lot out there.
I see.
But if there is potential to open trading avenues, etc., then I am open to discussion with that as well.
Interesting. And may I ask a quick question, if I may?
Of course.
Why did you think you could fool me?
Told you this was
I
a trap.
don't follow.
Well, Zardor's gonna die. What's there anyway?
Have you got a backup
Zandal
character?
does a 23 hit.
Yeah, 23 hits.
We'd be right outside. I probably would have heard that even if the rest didn't, right?
No, hang on.
Or
I was
that's
going
that.
to say, and who
Unless
are
he's
we
slit in your
surrounded
throat.
by?
You take 11 piercing damage as you feel something bite into your shoulder,
Oh,
and I
shit.
need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Please don't be a slot.
Okay.
It's going to be a slotty.
Yeah, we're gonna have to kill Zandal. Oh no. We're
Uh,
alright.
23.
You manage to save as you do feel as. Oh, well, that actually counted as a crit, actually. And it gets an extra die worth of damage, so that is actually. Hang on. 6, 12. 18. So that is actually. Would have been 23 points of piercing damage.
Okay,
the-
Zandal's down.
Oh, okay.
Fuck's sake, would we have heard him
So-
fall to the floor? Come on.
The paralysis wouldn't have mattered either way.
Would the
no, because
disconnect on the psychic network?
no, because that's not how it works.
Okay.
It's
So
not
you
like the necklaces
you-
thingy.
slump in the chair, and no, you wouldn't have heard because the door is soundproofed on
Oh,
purpose.
sorry, Aaron.
It's
And-
fine.
Zandal, as your vision fades out, you see shimmering in the air next to you a chameleon-like creature appear out of thin air, its fangs sunk into your shoulder as you slip into unconsciousness.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, Slard Infiltrator's been following you.
Assassino! Fucking
Aren't you glad we
Raven,
waited
you're
for you to come
useless.
back for this?
Yeah, but we're all just sat waiting outside.
Yeah, we're all just twiddling our thumbs. No idea that our friends.
So
are
who's
dead.
actually around us? Is there any guards or anything?
You do not see any guards in your immediate vicinity, no. You are just stood in the foyer of this building. I'll actually give you guys a...
So, am I just unconscious or am I dying?
You are just unconscious currently.
Okay.
What? Not in death saves them.
No, you have... They withheld lethal damage.
Right. Okay.
Hang on, I'm just getting set up. I need to move some tokens around. Eh. I think that's the right one. Did I put in one for Handor's human form?
So just to double check, after the heist we did not take any
I did.
rest.
No, you guys have not yet taken a rest, and also Xandal has all your equipment.
Okay.
Blossom's got my sword.
Yeah, I was gonna say not all of it.
I've got a dagger on my person hidden as well.
Right, there we go. I can give you guys a visual now. There we go.
Oh, scroll down. Oh no, I don't trust fucking statues now, man. I'm kind of. Charlie's just like pacing, and she's gonna be like, "I'm just gonna stay an equal distance away from both of these fuckers."
But yes.
Not making that mistake again.
So, you guys have just been left in the foyer. Currently, nothing seems to be happening for you guys.
Is everything alright, Xandal?
Not
No response.
shit. Should we budge in? What do you think?
Xandal?
No.
To
Yeah,
those with
While
rings.
we were stood around, Vienna will have had a really good look around the place.
Mm.
So, because she's bored more than anything, but she will
Yeah.
have been looking around.
Go ahead and make an investigation check then.
Not that it matters. She found nothing.
Not
Yeah,
because she rolled shit, but I feel like I'd be looking for ambush points. Not necessarily looking for stuff,
Yeah.
but just looking for places that people might hide.
go ahead and roll investigation. Yeah, Vienna, it's everything in here is white marble and it's still
I can't
hot
see shit.
19.
and still sunny. 19.
Kind of
Glancing
matched my
around,
passive.
glancing around, you don't see any ambush spots or hiding points. Obviously, there are the doors that are here, here,
What?
here.
I'm not.
Xandal went
I'm
through.
not seeing you. I
I'm
know.
not
I've
seeing
seen.
anything.
Oh, I'm
I've
on the
seen
wrong
that.
layer.
Yeah.
And I know I can see that one. I'm assuming there's one there. I can see something
Yep,
covered by the
there's
fog wall.
one there
Oh, so one behind. So we're surrounded by doors.
and one there.
One there. Okay.
Sorry, I was on the wrong layer.
It's alright.
But yeah, but you don't see any other potential points. It also doesn't look like this foyer gets a lot of use.
Hmm.
Like there's no real like wear or tear on the marble. You get the feeling that it's people who are in this house normally either stay in this house or use some other entry or exit point potentially.
I'm going to point out to people on the Ring network that Xandal's not replying. They can probably hear that Xandal's not replying as well, because we're all
Yeah.
connected.
There's just me, just like.
You can only talk to one person though.
Can only
Okay.
talk to one
Yeah.
person at a
It's
time.
not-
Yeah.
I'll pass
Um,
that across the network and just go, shall we bum rush to the door?
Is there a chance that where Xandal is? it
Bear in
might
mind,
be-
I won't hear this. I don't have the
Yeah.
ring.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah. Vienna will respond. There's a chance that the magic could be blocked from the rings.
Possibly.
Except we're talking to each other, so
Yeah.
Loud or just the ring?
that Vienna kind of goes. Something's off, and she actually says that slightly aloud, not just in the rings.
I mean, that guy showed up. Seemed awfully convenient that just as we mentioned him, he's there. I think it's a trap. I think we've stepped into the hornet's nest, as Sandor said.
Val's going to run face forward into the door.
Talia just roll her eyes and be like, guess we're fighting. And
What,
chase after him.
The door that he'd gone through.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm chasing
Okay.
right behind him.
Vienna's going to stay looking back because she's now expecting that door's going to be rushed. There's going to be guards might come through, so she's kind of keeping her eyes outwards.
Okay, so you guys are going to head through the door, yeah?
Well, I'm going to
Okay.
try and smash the door in.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a strength check.
Yeah.
Oh, but...
17.
Oh, I can move.
17, yep. You slam into the door and it buckles and gives way, and as you slam into the room, you see Handor stood behind the desk, one hand around Xandal's throat, holding
As
him
this
up.
happens, is there any way that I can just run in and try and assess and then throw my dagger if I can see the person is attacking Xandor?
I mean, Handor is currently holding him up, but he's just got him he's just holding Xandal by the scruff. And he sort of turns and goes, "And what do you slaves think you're doing?"
Hold person.
Can I throw the dagger at his face?
At the same time as...
If you want to throw a
yeah.
dagger, you can.
Can
Yeah,
I do
okay.
I
hold
want to
person
throw
at
it
the
at the
same
guy that's
time?
attacking him.
Yeah.
And I want to...
By the way, you can't. The chameleon thing is you don't see that. You just see Handor and Xandal.
But he's just a guy attacking thing. I don't care if I
Yeah.
think he's a lizard person.
That's
I just
fine.
want to attack him. But I'm going to do Threads of Fate to give myself advantage and throw my dagger to try and hit him
Yep.
right between the eyes.
I think you'd get advantage
Okay.
as well if he was held.
I don't know. It depends what happens first.
Okay, so first
Do
off,
you hold in person and then I do it, or do
Oh,
I throw it
you're
first?
casting Hold Person,
Yeah.
and you're throwing a dagger. You cast Hold Person fails.
Okay.
It
That
doesn't
answers
take
that
effect.
question. Right. Roll number 1 and roll number 2. Come on, dice gods. 21.
21 does hit.
22 sneaker damage, 5 piercing, because I had advantage, so it would have been sneak, and I guess it's surprise round because we're not in combat. I don't know how that works,
right.
but yeah.
Why did you have advantage?
I said I did Strings of Fate to give myself
Oh,
advantage
yes,
to
you gave
throw the
yourself
dagger as
advantage, yeah.
like one follow through instinctual thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, you sling the dagger, and you watch as it flies across and lands into Handor's shoulder, doing 27 points of damage.
What are you doing to my master?
And Handor, the dagger hits, and Handor instinctively drops Xandal, and he goes, "So, slaves with hidden weapons, slaves attacking nobles and the servants of nobles.
I protect my master.
We'll see what the guards have to say about that. Aye, your master merely fainted. I was merely helping him up and back into the chair.
By holding him over
Unfortunately,
his throat?
I was holding his scruff of his shirt. Unfortunately, I'm not particularly good at picking up halflings nicely.
I don't believe you.
I'm
Insight
going to
check.
Go ahead and roll.
You need to roll
Go
an
ahead,
insight
roll an
check. He's
insight
obviously
check.
fucking lying.
Go ahead, roll insight.
Fuck this guy.
I know, I don't get to roll insight very often, so...
Fair.
Nope, he seems legitimate.
He was just helping him. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
He seems like he's legit. I'm going to give you all one chance to apologize and leave the room.
Can we take our master with us? If he has fainted, we need to give him medical attention.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Nope.
Add dice tonight, honestly.
Yeah.
I will apply what medical care is required. I have a couple of potions here I can use if necessary. Please remove yourselves now.
Without a master?
To the foyer. And wait like you were told.
Well, technically, actually, Vienna's already out there because she didn't move.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's
Val
standing
doesn't
guard
look
at
like
the
he's
door.
moved. I would assume that Val is
Yeah.
like here then, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I
I'm
haven't moved
there.
on the map.
I don't think I went
Yeah.
in the room. I just kind of threw it.
I
From
would have
the
been
doorway,
like
so-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will return myself to the doorway.
You will
I'm
return
awaiting
yourself.
I'm awaiting further orders from my master when he is well.
Your master is already going to have to repay my master for a new door due to your rash actions. And you turn and you see this beautiful wooden door, perfectly carved, is
He
in
can fucking
splinters.
afford it. I don't say that out loud. That's just me. But yeah.
The protection of my master has been given to me as a sole responsibility, so if I am concerned for my master's well-being, I've been told to act in certain scenarios.
By the way, both of you make perception checks.
Yeah.
My passive is 19.
This is an active perception.
19.
19.
I think
So
15
19
was mine.
anyway.
You both notice that dagger that had been in his shoulder. Ting, 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 ting. And the wound in his shoulder has just sealed up and is no longer a wound whilst you've been talking. He looks down at it and
Oh, he's
goes,
got regen. Fuck.
he goes, well, I stalled you long enough anyway. He snaps a finger, and those of you still in the foyer hear the front doors.
Don't. Statues. Told you. Fucking more statues. Fucking hate it.
And you hear as the two doors, the main big set of doors and that other door in the right hand wall,
Fucking try and kill me.
creak open and reveal
Dum dum dum.
Attention.
Reveal, I think.
Oh,
Ah,
no.
not fucking
Oh,
Smarty.
no.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Those
on
fucking
Dragon Ball
one
Z.
that infects people. No.
Everyone's come to play.
Oh, red ones. Oh, I don't want to play. I don't want to
And
play no more.
at this point, I'm going to have to ask you all to roll initiative. Except Daniel,
Oh.
who's unconscious.
Fuck's sake. Why didn't we rest? Fucking, why did Talia have to open a big fucking gob like she always does? God damn it.
I forgot to select my
Ah.
token. but
Yeah,
I got
nobody's
19.
rested.
I
I nearly
Everybody's
couldn't
fucked.
find where initiative was. 7.
We're all...
I was saying, about the only people here who are in any point
Seven?
nearly ready for a fight are probably Vienna and Ert.
I mean, I'm not too bad.
Reese,
I could
Reese,
be better.
burn your card. Say that we took a long rest.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, my diary. Let me just pull my diary out and quickly say that we know. I'm not doing that. No. We don't have time
Everyone
to
else.
bloody scribble in a diary anyway.
I think we're just waiting for Ertz, and then.
But
Yeah,
don't forget, we do
yes,
have
yeah.
that card though, Reese.
Yeah.
It's your
Use
choice
it when
we
you
do
think's
that.
the best time. When you think it's best. What did the card do again? Was it just you could tell the
Basically,
DM
Yeah,
no?
basically,
or
at
you
some
could
point, he
just-
can just rewrite reality in
Mm.
in a way. He can just tell me no at some point.
So... But he can't just say we killed the grey guy.
No,
Harder.
there are limitations to it.
Shucks.
But if he said something like, "No, we took a long rest," that would count. Like, you guys could have a long rest.
Hmm.
Or we somehow purchased 3,000 healing potions.
Not quite that.
Just for Sandal.
Rewrote reality. Talia's blood heals people. Quickly go and Give Sandal some. Oh.
One second.
I mean, at least their initiative's not great either, right? Right? It's a consolation prize.
For once, mine is. That's the worrying thing.
Right. I mean, we've got to think of
Right.
it in both scenarios. If we all die, Paddy's got to think of a new campaign.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Who says they're aiming to kill you? You don't know.
I don't know if you telling me they got a kink for fucking tieflings. I ain't dying here. Hell no. I ain't doing shit to me. Go away.
Okay. Top of the round is the red slard, which is going to squeeze its way through the door
Fuck that guy.
to get to there,
No, stay away. Don't like you. I don't want to play.
and is going to make 1 bite attack and 2 claw attacks against you, Talia.
Great.
Bearing in mind, you are currently not wearing any armor.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking die. Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
So for
Do
the
it.
bite is a 21 to hit.
So if I'm not wearing armor, it would be 15 AC, not 16.
So yep, so
Right?
that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
without
bother changing.
armor,
I'm not gonna
it's-
bother changing my AC, but I'm assuming it's
without
one
armor, it's 8 plus your dex modifier, I think.
Well, my dex modifier's what? So would it be 14? Oh no, because my van brace is a defense. You said that I did take.
Oh yeah, if you got your
I did
van
have
braces, that adds +2, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's still under 23.
yeah.
Yeah, so you take from that one, that is 7 piercing damage.
Joy.
And then the claw attacks, that is a 17 to hit for one,
Yeah.
and a nat 1 for the other.
Well, at least that one misses. How much
So
damage do I
one
take
of
for the
them-
second hit?
Pardon?
How much damage do I take for the second hit? Yeah, you
For
told me the
the
damage for
second-
the.
Yeah, for
bite.
the second hit, that is 7 piercing damage, and I need you to make a con save, please.
Oh, been nice knowing you guys. Oh, okay, that's not bad. 19.
19, you feel something try to slip in as this claw rips into your arm, and you feel something try to slide in, but you manage to just sort of grab your arm and brush it off before it can slip under your skin.
Just looked at my con save. It's not fucking great. It's really not great.
Paddy, can you just pick
I'm
your
only-
hand to your
I
camera
have
a
advantage
sec?
against disease
Sorry.
and poison.
That's all right.
I'm assuming it's neither disease nor poison.
This one was not disease or poison.
Oh.
Okay.
Come on, focus.
Camera's like, no.
Progress.
There we go.
There we go. Right, anyway, that is the end of the red slard's turn. Vienna,
It's not
it's
great.
your turn.
Well, I'm so used to being bottom of the initiative order that I hadn't actually prepared what I was going to do. I'm kind of looking around, whatever the best option is.
Oh,
I am going to. So I'm going to guess my elven chain. I wouldn't be wearing it, would I?
Oh, shit, yeah.
I believe we've ruled that elven chain was light enough to be worn under the thing because it is.
Right.
It's so light that it would just look like cloth.
Okay. What do I do? What do I do? I'm going to assume that now that all this chaos is going off, he's going to want privacy, so it doesn't matter about the noise anymore. Should I just go good old faithful Eldritch Blast?
Okay, who were you Eldritch blasting?
My immediate concern is Talia at the moment, so I am going to.
I am the squishy tiefling. I am the squishy tiefling.
I am aiming for the red one, and it's got to be
Okay.
a normal Eldritch Blast because I'm not wearing my gauntlet.
Okay, go ahead.
Eldritch.
1,
Eldritch blast.
2, 3.
The last one hits.
Yay!
The nat 1, I'm gonna say hits the statue and does some damage to that. But the last one does hit for 11 points of damage. Okay.
There's not
Anything else?
very much I can do otherwise, I don't think. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
End of Vienna's turn. Blossom, your turn.
I'm gonna take out my whip. 'Cause that's
Yep.
Bonus action, right?
Yep.
Up to this one.
No weapons. Apart from me.
I am the weapon. I don't need weapons.
I am the weapon.
I am the weapon.
The 22
I'll ram
hits.
him with my
The nat
horns.
1 does not.
Yep.
Suddenly engage bull mode. Like, ah.
Just go around. Woo. It's alright, I've got magic.
So 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay.
And do I get charges off this?
You do, yes.
They might be necessary.
Yes, I believe you were not very high on hit points after that last fight.
We fucked up quite bad.
I mean, I'm at least half health because I do have my regen that works.
The one thing I would say,
I'm fine.
I'm gonna be kind and allow this quickly. If the amount of time that between the heist and this, you guys would have been able to take a short rest. If you want to quickly spend some hit dice, I will say that did happen before Vienna showed up at the tavern. So I'm going to
it's
be nice.
bad when the DM takes pity on us.
No, I'm just thinking, logically speaking, that would have been classed as a
Alright.
short rest.
Would have been a
Roll the
long
fuck
rest.
out of my dice.
They were actually sitting there for a
Would
while.
Ertz
Yeah.
have been a
while-
long rest?
Ertz had a long rest. She's had, but not since she cast her sendings.
That's fine.
What's that?
Just for continuity, I'm gonna say that I haven't had a short rest. Otherwise, I'd still be awake.
Yeah, you would probably have been faffing
I
around. and stuff.
I was dealing with concussion at the time, so
Yeah.
from being decked in the face multiple times by
I'll say
statues.
that I would have taken myself up to max health, but I don't want to do maths, so I'm just going to give myself 18 hit points and hope for the best.
Yep,
There
that's
you
fine.
go. That seems fair. Because
Okay.
I did take some hits after.
I just thought,
yeah.
logically speaking, you guys were sat in the tavern for a while.
It just
would've
resets me to where I
Yeah.
was before I got bit.
counted. Okay. Anyway, Ert's turn.
Still not full.
Ert's gone into a bit of a panic, realizing how fucked up we are right now. And she's looking at the Slardy, and she's looking at all of the different doorways, and she's gone into a bit of a panic, and she goes, no. She puts her hands down to the floor, raises her hands up, and she's casting 6th level blade barrier from the doorway all the way to the other doorway to stop anybody coming towards us. It's a
Blade barrier.
90-foot wall of blades stopping anybody crossing over.
Okay, hang on, let me double check that.
If you click the ability, it'll post in the
Yeah, I can do that.
dice chat, and then you can see the ruling on.
Level 6, vertical
Yeah.
wall of whirling razor sharp
Oh.
blades.
It casts
what?
just damage.
Oh, okay.
You-
Fucking
yeah,
good
there
damage.
is- There
Fucking
is a
good
way to
damage.
click on it, but
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
display
it's
in
shit,
VTT.
it's
There you
display
go.
all
in
up
VTT.
to,
There you go.
yeah, 100 feet long, 20 feet
Awesome.
high, 5 feet thick.
She's
Stupid
going
that
from
damage,
the
though,
top
holy
of the
shit.
doorway all the way up to basically the other doorway to stop anybody crossing over into where our
Right.
party is.
Doesn't
And there is
stop
actually
them.
a direct line that would split our party from anybody else crossing over.
So you want it sort of there.
I can't see anything.
That's drawn it. I've
I
just
can
drawn
see
a
it. It's
symbol
I
fine.
want
Square,
it
blank
like
square.
that.
like that. Right, okay, hang
Oh.
on.
Oh, what, to kind of get the red one and... is that
Split
gonna
us all
fuck
off.
me, or is it...
Hang on. This is always the problem now, is trying to select the image that I've just put in to delete it.
And it's also an awkward diagonal that I'm trying to do. But
It
essentially,
is rather.
yeah.
Just to be fun.
Yeah. Draw a shape.
It was a
Freehand.
spell that looked very interesting when we got to like 6th level spells, and I was just
So
like,
you want
"Ooh."
it sort of there, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming you want the 5 feet to be, hang on, more like that.
What, to like... to...
To be on the Slard side, not Talia's side.
Yes.
Right, so like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just double check the wording of the spell.
So it's a dex save for the
Enters
red one,
walls
then?
area or starts its turns there. So only when they're in the area. So yeah, a dex save for the red one.
It's a 15.
This is a magical effect, so
or
it
he'll
has
take
advantage.
43 slashing damage, I think.
Has advantage because it's a magical effect. So yeah, passes. So half damage. So.
Well, first damage he
42.
rolled was 40. Well, first one he rolled was 43.
Okay, so half of that is
Oh, it's only 120.
21.
Yeah.
Okay, you watch as these glowing blades just appear and just start flashing and slicing everything in this area, and this red slar just gets absolutely lacerated and just goes "Ah!" and just reels back slightly. Okay, good job from her. Any movement, or is that it? And
She's
she
going to stay in
is
that position
concentrating.
at the moment.
Yeah, she's
Because
now
she's kind of
concentrating.
quite far away from combat,
The
really.
chaos.
Yeah. Okay. Talia, your turn.
Oh fuck. Blossom, my sword. I'll just ask my sword and I'll try and collect it from him. Her.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. That's. I mean, you
To get
can't.
my-
You can't reach into the pockets.
No, I'm
Use
just
it.
saying. That's what I'm saying. There's a barrier. I'm saying my sword, as in I'm
Yeah.
waiting so I can take it from them.
Okay,
when
so
they,
you're
get
holding
out.
your action for your
Yes.
sword. Okay. Fair enough. Val, your turn.
Having seen into both rooms and realizing how sincerely fucked we are, Val is going to use his last 3rd level spell slot to cast haste on himself.
Okay.
And he's going to try and move in to grab Xandal, which would then be a contested strength check, I would imagine, which would be
He
my
dropped him,
first
didn't he?
action.
Unless he's picked him up again.
He did drop him, so
Okay.
he's just dropped him beside him.
So that would be just my first action under haste.
So you've used an action to cast haste.
Yeah.
So that would be your hasted action to grab him.
Okay, and then I can move away at half speed,
Yes.
which would then also be normal speed because I'm hasted.
Yep. But he will get an opportunity attack
Yeah.
against you.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm dragging Xandal probably, I think that's 30 foot, isn't it? Let me just do the measure.
It's half movement and he wouldn't get 30 feet, would you?
Hasted.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
So-
drag him to the doorway.
That is a 14 to hit.
That does hit.
So you are going to take, as you Handor grabs his greatsword and just
I'm gonna
swings it
try
at
and
you. You take 11 points of slashing damage,
That's fine.
which you are not vulnerable to.
Yeah.
So
And that stores in
mercies.
my shield, right?
Hmm?
That stores
Pardon?
in my shield.
yes, if
No.
you want it to.
Yeah.
No, it's It's only elemental.
Elemental,
damage.
not
no,
physical.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
was just like, wait, what?
And yeah, you drag Xandal back with you.
I don't use the shield enough to...
Remember, yeah.
Okay, that the end of your turn.
That's me.
Okay, it's Handor's turn. Handor is going to look at you and just sort of go. He is then going to leap over that. Go 5, 10, 15 to get to there. He's going to proceed to make 3 great sword attacks against you, Val.
Cool.
Oh no, 2.
Sucks.
So that
I really
is
don't want to die here.
a 21 to hit on
Yeah.
one of them,
Not in this shitty town.
and the other one's a nat 20.
Yeah.
So for the first one, you are going to take, that is 8 slashing damage,
Cool.
Can't even say
and
that.
for the
Cool.
crit, you take 21 slashing damage.
Cool.
As he just brings this great sword down and goes,
Yeah, happy.
and just first one just sort of slashes across your chest. The second one catches you in the collarbone and just digs in and down, causing a big gash.
Can I have a bit of a free action to just say to my shield, if you're going to do something miraculous now, considering all the bullshit you've put me through, you got to do it now. And just leave it at that.
Okay. You don't seem to feel.
I don't think an
Anything,
archfey
not
gives a
anything.
fuck about you, mate.
It's now the
I'm
green
hopeful.
slard's turn.
You never know.
Green Slard. It's going
Those
to.
wait patiently because that's how they attack, right?
Oh yeah. Real, yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a cone. Oh, hang on. It's each creature in a 30-foot cone. Yeah, it'll do it. It's gonna. Oh, it can only really reach. Ooh. Can't quite reach. It can move through ally spaces, but it'll can't share spaces.
I suppose the shut doors would also make a issue.
Oh,
with
the
it.
doors are all open.
Oh, are they? Okay.
The doors flung open to reveal them. They did the whole dramatic ha-ha thing.
Battle music seems a bit too epic, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. So what it's going to do instead is it's going to use Hurl Flame. It's going to throw. The only one it could probably see is Vienna and Blossom. So it's going to hurl one flame at Vienna and one at Blossom.
Okay.
So the one at Vienna is a 20 to hit.
Yep.
So Vienna, you are going to take.
Does that count for cover as well because of the blade barrier?
The blade barrier count as cover.
Yeah,
It
3/4
doesn't
cover.
say that it does, but I
does.
suppose you
Because
Well-
it provides 3/4 cover.
Ah,
Oh, okay. So that's +5 to your AC then, Vienna.
Plus
don't-
5 would put me at 21.
So that would not have hit 20.
Nope.
So you watch as the flame comes flying towards you, but one of the blades just intercepts it and just dashes it out the air. Okay, same thing against Blossom. That one is a 19 to hit. So add 5 to your AC because of the blade barrier.
Yeah, 19 is armor class with the.
Okay,
3/4.
so that will hit. You are going to take. I rolled garbage.
19,
You take 5 fire damage
Sure.
as this flame comes flying through the barrier and it gets chopped into a couple of small bits and sort of loses some of its power, but still splashes against you, burning you slightly. Okay, Blue Slard's turn. Blue Slard, beefy boy, is just going to 5, 10. So it enters the barrier. I'm assuming the barrier counts as difficult terrain. First
Imagine
off,
so, right?
Dex save against the effects. That is a 16 on the Dex save, so I believe that's half damage.
Yeah.
So 21 to that one as well. Okay. And then it's going to push through the blade barrier. Come out there. It's going to make a bite attack against Vienna. Nat 1. So it lunges towards you through the blade barrier, but you sort of just duck and its jaws just clamp down over your head. It's then going to make 2 claw attacks, one against Vienna, one against Blossom. The one against Vienna is a 11 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
The one against Blossom is a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So Blossom, you are going to take. That is 13 points of slashing damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Nope.
That is a failure. You feel as something
Oh no.
moves, like
What?
infects into your body, and you feel this burning sensation in your veins
Mhm.
as you are infected with a disease of some description.
Hopefully it's just Chaos Phage, not a fucking egg. Not
Okay.
that that's any better, really, let's be honest.
Top of the round is the red slard. At the beginning of its turn, it regens. Okay, but it is also in the blade barrier, so it's going to have to make another dex save. With advantage, because of the... Yep, passes, so again, half damage. 21 more points of damage. So all that damage it just healed, it just retook. It is then going to move out of the blade barrier as best as it can, wants to get to there. Is now flanking with Handor, so he's going to make a bite and 2 claw attacks against Val with advantage.
Is it classed as flanking with two squares in between? There's two.
Technically
Yes,
you're
because
holding,
Xandor
holding
is
Xandor,
unpleasant.
so you and Xandor are sharing
Okay.
a spot.
You can step over an unconscious person anyway,
That's
so even
fine.
if he was on the floor, he'd still be in front of you.
So
I'm
with
just trying to
advantage.
give myself the benefit of the doubt.
Regrettably. Regrettably.
So the bite is a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
So you are going to take, that's 9 piercing damage.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 6 piercing damage,
Okay.
doubled to 12 because
Yeah.
of your vulnerability. Then the 2 claw attacks. That is a 20 to hit.
My AC is 13
On the
at the
first.
moment.
Okay. Both hit. You are going to take. That's 9. 6. So 19 piercing damage, doubled to 38.
Cool.
And you do not need to make con saves because of your paladin. You are
I just
immune.
said 38 and not 39. I'm on
Okay.
1 hit point.
All right, Vienna, your turn.
Question: there's no windows or anything in this foyer, is there?
There are other doors, but there are no windows. There is, I will do a bit of revealing to make it a bit easier for you guys to see. There is a door there, and you can see all the others.
Okay. No,
So there's the
I've-
front doors you came in through, which you heard magically lock somehow. There's the door into the office where Handor is. There's the door the red slide came out of. There's the door the blue and the green slide are coming out of, and then there's this other door here.
No, it's more. I was looking to see if there was somewhere out that I could see.
Not in this foyer, I'm afraid.
Right. It's alright. I can't actually see the bottom of the screen because everyone's tokens are in the way. So.
You should be able to scroll down a little bit past them.
Right. I don't know what to do. It's like, I don't think we're going to win this one.
I think we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're fucked. We're fucked. We're fucking sucked. Isn't there a song or something about we're fucked? I regret to tell you, friend, you're fucked. Something like that. I can't remember.
On a scale of 1 to 10, my
my
friend,
friend,
you're
you're
fucked.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Right.
Well, also, given that I have been infected already, do we skip to the end and assume this is a loss?
and save ourselves the misery.
Do the thing,
Read.
please.
Yeah.
What, say that we had
I
a long
mean-
rest, or say that we didn't
No.
come in?
No.
He's come up with a way better plan than that.
Yeah, because given that we've fought a green, we fought 2 greens before and neither of them went well, and this is with a grey, in addition to all 3 of the others.
Yeah.
I'm probably just going to take the fate card and say that we didn't leave the inn.
And I didn't open my fat gob.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So we'll have to wait till your turn, as it is an
Yeah.
action to activate the card.
Fair.
So
So-
Vienna still.
Vienna is looking at what she can do at close range because she's not wearing a gauntlet. She will.
Unless you could pull a miracle out of your ass, Steph.
No. Well, I've just looked at something that I could do, but then I've realised it's a bit too close to me, so I was like, no, that's not gonna work. She can do a Eldritch Blast, but it'll just be disadvantage. won't it?
Disadvantage, yeah, because you're in close combat.
Close.
She's just like, oh, I'm in the face.
No, not that one. I'm literally going through the list of stuff that I can do that's not gonna...
I don't know, bitch slap him. How dare you attack my friends?
I will try Blight.
Okay, right it is.
It's
Blighty
probably
Blight.
not
Okay.
gonna work because it's
Con save. What one are you blighting?
the one that's smack bang in front of me.
The blue slard. Okay.
Like the bloody blighty.
So, con save with advantage because it's a magical effect. That is a 23 for save.
Oh, okay.
So it takes half as much damage.
A decent
Cool.
hit. Still a decent hit.
A 33.
So that's 16 damage in total.
Double digit damage. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
You watch as it's like you hold your hand out and encant the rot of winter and blast it towards this blue slard, and you watch as it hits and its veins begin turning black and its flesh begins to wither, but it just sort of manages to sort of flex, and this weird shimmer comes around it, and it just manages to sort of shrug it off.
Mhm.
It's taken some damage, but not as much as you'd like.
Okay. That's my turn.
Okay, Blossom, your
Yeah.
turn.
Could have one more
Yeah,
round.
we're unprepared for this. The only question is, how strong is Fate? I couldn't just Fate that the crystal never came into existence, could I?
So, I will read you the fate.
I think that would be
Reality's,
British shit.
reality's fabric unravels and spins anew. Avoid any situation you choose once. Any
Yeah.
situation.
This is the situation.
Yeah, so this one.
Okay. So you draw out the card that you had drawn from the deck of many things. You hold it up, and you wish. Not wish, but you desire to have never left the inn.
Never left the inn, and I never got the eyes on us by saying the word.
Yeah.
Okay. You desire that this situation and everything that had led up to it, before, basically, you want to rewind time to just as Vienna had arrived at the inn.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I think that's.
You watch as the card shines with this brilliant radiance of this almost like dark reality-bending purple. You watch as reality just seems to unwind, and Talia, for you who has See Fate up, you watch as the strings
Threads
of fate
rearrange
around
themselves.
everyone just unravel and begin
She's just looking at Blossom like, what are you doing?
and begin refreading, and then everything goes black, and you all are now sat in the inn. Vienna has just arrived.
And we
The
have
only
no
one of you-
recollection of
The only
what
one of you who
happened.
remembers this has happened is Blossom,
Mm.
as the one
I
who
wouldn't.
played
I
the
wouldn't
card.
as being able to see Fate though.
No, you know something's happened,
Hmm.
but with the way the card works, it rewrites fate. It rewrites reality. So for all of you guys, you've never left the inn. Vienna's just arrived. This is what's just happened. That's how it
Vienna's
is.
taking a seat in the chair, going, "Oh, what the fuck?"
So as I
happened?"
said, I think we need to go and find that guy with the gunpowder stuff and go and blow up Worthington's place.
Yes, but haven't we
In
like
all
blown up
honesty, I
enough?
think
Yeah,
we could
and
just
I'll
blow up
say
the
we
entire
don't want
city.
to take on what was his name?
Handor.
Andor.
Wait,
Who's
what?
Handor?
What?
Oh,
Isn't he the guy
oh, yeah, 'cause
from
I
that
haven't read
ledger
the
thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you haven't read it yet. Yeah, don't read that.
What do you mean I haven't
Bad
read it?
things
What?
happen if we read
That's it. Bjorna's now reading through documents, going, "What haven't I read yet?"
Listen, are you alright?
I had to use the card that we found
Oh.
before.
What did
Used
we do?
what now?
What? The card? The one that she pulled from the
About
deck?
actually, the only one of you who would
Oh.
realize what this means, the only one of you who knows
Probably
anything about the
Sandal,
deck is
yeah.
Sandal, because he's the one who confiscated it.
Mhm.
What's a playing card got to do with anything? What?
The card from the deck of cards that I have taken.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Right, that means somehow we fucked up.
I mean, that checks.
Meanwhile,
now have
Bjorna's
to-
now reading through the documents, going, "No, no."
So
How-
we've
how
used a
did we
card.
fuck
Do we
up?
have to draw another card? Is that how it works? Or
I hope not.
Right, what did we do that...
Yeah, what did we do?
The
There's a letter here for something about hand. What does it say?
yeah,
I can't even
the-
remember what it said now. It does
It
say
was
handle,
basically
though.
saying that they've replaced another influential figure,
That's the one.
and that sort of stuff.
Handle.
yeah, the grey one.
Grey one?
Yes, and don't even think about saying it.
Do
Say
not
what?
say the word.
Say what?
dolls.
What?
Saying
What did
yeah,
you just
dolls.
say?
You said doll.
Yeah.
Say what?
Yeah, Val's got the right idea. That's
Doll?
Saying the naughty word, but saying it backwards. Therefore,
Remember the
if
word
there's
that
any...
we'd agreed that we'd not say, and actually,
Oh, right.
it's funny you should say that because I did get a little bit of brain damage from saying the word in the Drow Center. Do not say the lizardy thingy word.
Oh, the word where I keep getting like a painful headache after.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So, what did we do? Like,
Yeah. So how did we fuck up?
we
So we
walked
don't do it
straight
again.
into Worthington's estate and promptly got executed.
Why would we walk? How did we end up here if we executed? How did you do the cards?
Well, it wasn't quite as quick as that, but it was not going well. They have a lot of them in there.
if it's just like an Uno reverse card, can I draw a card?
Nope.
I don't think that's why. I think we
Sandal
should stop
just
fucking
slaps
with
his
things.
hand away, slaps him in the face.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Let me read my diary. Maybe it'll tell us what happened there, because I want to see whether it affects it. Does it say that?
So do
I
you
want to see.
have to get your,
Just
you have
because
to
I
get
haven't read
your,
it in a while, so I want to see what sarcasm it's got in the borders.
you have
anyway.
to get your diary from Zandal
Yes.
first, because
Give,
he's
give
the
me
one
my
who's got the
diary a
diary.
sec. I'm curious.
I will summon it and take it out.
Yep.
Okay. As you look in the diary, it details everything that you guys have done, but there are no comments.
Oh
Done up
man!
till now,
Even my
or-
diaries doesn't get to be sarcastic. You were saying about Referium not talking to you, and oh man,
From
I
when
like these
till when?
comments. What? It-
From when
The
till when
diary.
is there no comments?
There's no comments since we got
Yeah,
into town.
Where does it say up to?
Yeah. What's
Guessing
the
where-
last thing that the diary
The
actually
last,
has?
the
That,
last
yeah.
thing it
had a
says
comment.
is, as you were entering the city, you see, oh my god, how gaudy could one civilization, and that's where it almost like cuts off.
So it's
So,
not
it's
actually
the city.
writing anything
the
at
city.
all.
Uh,
Is that the last
I mean, it's
entry in the
narrating.
diary?
It still says what I see, but this whatever
Yes, but what is the last
whatever
thing
mind
you
is in
said
this diary
before?
is not talking anymore.
Okay,
It's the comments that aren't there. The actual
right.
detailing
That's
there.
where I was going.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
the
that's what I'm saying.
And
It's
the
what-
detailing,
it's-
the detailing
It tells
is
every single thing that I have done.
there is
in town.
reality's been rewritten, so
right?
diary's
so
been
it's stopped
rewritten as well.
now. Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
I wanted to know.
Okay,
So,
okay. Well,
I'm no
I
longer-
assume I don't know if it works. Then I'll close it and give it back to Zandal.
I'm no longer under the influence of haste, and I will not get exhausted, right? Cool.
No, and you
Just you
all
never.
get your spell slots back that you had used,
Okay.
Maybe we should.
because you technically haven't used them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe we should probably rest first.
have
Start
a
with a
rest.
fresh head now that
and-
we're all
yeah.
reunited and
Let's actually have a proper plan of action ahead.
yeah.
of where we're
Be a
going.
bit more careful.
And
We
Yeah,
won't
I
get a
can-
second chance.
try to wait out the guard presence because they believe it was done by a rebel group.
That's true. Wait
escaped
Oh, so they don't know who
on
did
our
it.
slaves.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we keep it quiet for a bit then.
Okay. Who's in favour of going to sleep?
Me?
So,
Well, whatever it is I do.
I mean, I want to go to Worthington's, but you know.
I feel like we need to think that because why the fuck did we go through the front door? Who does that?
we did. Apparently.
Well, yeah, apparently, but
Mhm.
yeah.
So, shall we say we have a long rest, but Vienna obviously only needs 4 hours. During that long rest, Vienna will say, right, while we're having this rest, Blossom, explain word for word what happened.
Yeah, I want to know too. I don't need sleep either.
And then we can kind of... You're on
Yes,
mute.
I
Oh,
do-
minus the word you cannot say.
Yes,
Yeah.
minus the
Try
word
and
we
get
cannot say.
Mhm.
Do they call it a tactical advantage when you've got intelligence or something?
Yeah, try. Well, I don't think that really
Yeah.
applies to knowing what happened.
So
but
yeah, Blossom.
yeah.
During you guys, I will say I will allow you guys to have a long rest. You technically
Yay.
shouldn't, but your body's still, though reality's been rewritten, your body still have like phantom pains and exhaustion, so it makes sense. And Blossom goes through about how Handor met you all, like what happened about the slip up, how Talia thought something was watching you guys, how when you got to the gate you were discussing it and trying to figure out how to get through into the nobles district, and then Handor just showed up. Then how Xandor went into the office with Handor and then you couldn't get in contact with him, and then you busted the door down. Xandor was unconscious, Handor was holding him, but that was all you guys know. You don't know anything about what happened in the office.
So that means I've got my dagger back at least then.
Yes, the dagger's back. And then how you were jumped by a selection of Slard, and Handor fought you as well. But Handor himself looked human the whole time.
Pardon me.
I will point out a selection of those things.
Yes.
Great.
You can say the word, I can't.
Well, none of us can say
None
the
of
word.
us.
The
So we're
GM
agreeing.
can say the word.
Oh,
God himself can dictate.
They can't get me!
I do
Oh, yeah,
feel
and-
I do feel a bit gutted that we had to use the card for
And-
that, but
And
it's a good
Blossom,
job
yes,
we had
your
it.
the Chaos Phage is no longer affecting you, so you're aware. That did fade as well when you rewrote reality.
Thank God.
Yeah. It almost feels like a waste of a couple of nearly an hour, but we didn't die.
In a way, it got you some info.
Yeah.
It did
Yeah.
get us
Yeah.
some info.
Well, yeah. Got us info.
Yeah, we know to avoid that place now.
So-
Or you know that when you do go in, be
We
stealthy.
need to be stealthy, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
know-
stealthy.
Xandor, you get inspiration from all over the place for your inventions.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about something that if your heart stops, as like a tactical advantage if your heart stops?
Not
You know, like
copying
you-
a very popular.
No, you know, like you built
role-playing
my
series.
you built my gauntlet to store energy and to release energy at different times. Have you
Build
ever
a
thought
thief.
about doing something that would, if your heart stops, would just release a bunch of energy to try and, like, I don't know,
A defib.
paralyze or
Automatically feed you a health potion.
or a defib to try and get your heart to start going, either like as a defensive or offensive thing? I mean, you already
I
have.
kind
You
How
of
would
already
have-
that
had.
work for me? My heart doesn't beat.
I'm thinking of Xandor because he already had like crystal-like stuff
Oh,
in
squishy
his
boy, yes,
chest.
definitely.
And if he can thread stuff into his chest anyway, then maybe that will work for him more than anybody else.
Well,
Nothing
the
to do with the
chest
fact that
is-
Xandor keeps dying.
Removed.
Other than the scarring from the years of having the crystals there, the chest is healed. He sort of like
I was going to
reveals.
say you went
like,
through
the
like
chest.
harrowing surgery with Finley for that.
But I have these that kind of like minorly can activate as a defibrillator for any of you guys. And he'll show off like the Dormammu because they work on saves as well.
Yeah.
Though anything on a larger scale, I'd have to really delve deep into the biology of the different races.
That's
I was
a
thinking
whole
more for
new-
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because-
Maybe just for you, Xandal. I mean, we tend to stay out of
Heal
trouble,
me
but
a
you do
lot,
tend
I
to
know.
attract trouble to yourself.
I mean, after me, you're the one who goes down the most.
Yeah. I think we just need to find another one of your necklaces.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe give Xandal the necklace.
No, because then he'd go down, and he's a better healer than me.
Oh, true, true.
Yeah, he does
But he
have a
can
point.
also heal himself. You cannot. Well, wait, can you?
I
heal?
can.
You've healed
Yes.
before.
Yes, I can heal.
The
Yeah.
I
Just not
think-
on the level of
Yeah.
him and her.
I think we
Gotta
need to
stay
think
tap.
up a plan. I
Yeah.
think we need to think up a good plan.
Yeah, we
I
need to
think-
not be the usual fuck ups
Yeah.
that we are.
Not just one plan. Let's make a few plans. And
Yeah.
just in case the one plan doesn't work, which keeps happening.
Rather
A,
than
B,
take-
and C.
Yeah, rather than taking a short evening and trying to do a lot, maybe we take this evening to have a long rest, and then think of stuff for,
Yeah.
a longer time period to try and implement.
Really plan it out.
I mean, can you really blame us for wanting to get out of this shithole as soon as possible? I hate it here. Worst city I've ever been in. Fucking Durham
Yeah,
now
it's
at its
like-
worst isn't as bad as this place is.
Yeah, they're sitting there going, it wasn't that bad.
Like I say, I'd quite happily blow this city up.
Yeah.
Like, if cities are causing us problems, there won't be no problem if there's no city to cause said problem.
Yeah, but that's been our plan on the last 5 cities. It's like,
We can't just keep blowing up cities whenever we're going to get we're the bad
If
guys
it
here,
solves
like
the problem, it
Anarchy
works.
for reform.
Anyway, I'm going to sleep. I still have concussion.
yeah, I think it's a good thing for us to all get a good night's sleep and then
night sleep, possibly stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
work out a plan in the morning.
Okay. As you all go to your long rests, I will say you have all leveled up.
Hey!
Even though we
As-
technically didn't do anything.
I consider surviving that fight as a milestone achievement, so you do get a level up.
Dope.
Leveled up from surviving a
ability
fight
score
that technically
improvement.
never happened.
Ability
It's-
score improvement. I'm gonna put that into fucking.
Yeah,
constitution.
it's a tactical thing. It's you've gained the experience from the fight, so I'm going to say that you get the level up.
And I suppose considering some of the rewards that you can get from the cards of fate or whatever it is, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting the name
In
of
all
it.
in all honesty, like that, Fates is one of the strongest ones in the deck. There's others that are maybe equally as strong, but Fates is very, very powerful, as just
It's a
shown.
pretty dope card.
Yeah. Yes.
While we're all sat leveling up and stuff, I think this might be a good time to
Yes,
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we are going to end
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
Not sure when next session will be, guys. Obviously, unfortunately, the next Friday that we normally would have played, the 28th, I'm unavailable this time. So we will post on the socials as usual to make you aware of when we move the session to. So keep your eyes on those. And hope you all enjoyed what was a complete and total cluster from this group.
I think
that's
we
a
have
standard
outdone
session,
ourselves
right?
on fuckery this level.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you literally
yeah.
walked into a trap.
Yeah.
Just like,
Willingly.
yeah. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed and enjoy your own games, enjoy your own lives. We'll see you soon. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
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 Bye.